breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
With 2 convenient locations, Singleton's Automotive will keep your vehicle on the road. Singleton's offers routine maintenance, BG services, tires, inspections, alignments, and more in their family-owned shops. Singleton's Automotive is hiring technicians for both locations. Receive competitive pay and benefits depending on experience. Visit singletonsautomotive.com. That's singletonsautomotive.com. Car care with character.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Compassionate care starts with respected and valued employees. Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation offers careers with purpose and opportunities for advancement for those looking for meaningful employment or anyone searching for a leading short-term rehabilitation and long-term care facility for loved ones. Sandstone prides itself on unmatched staff and resident satisfaction. We set the standard for excellence in employment and compassionate care. Discover the Sandstone Way online at sanstonehealth.com.
Fantasy football fans, the NFL season is here, and now's the time to do your homework. The best way to do that homework is to listen to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. Come hang out with me, Marcus Grant, and my pal Michael F. Florio, as we help you optimize your draft strategy to have the best roster in the league heading into Week 1.
For a smart, fun, and entertaining path to winning your league, the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast is the show for you. Listen to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL Fantasy and start listening.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
You know, I'm starting to feel like we need to change that to the Seminoles killed him. Is it too early for that in the program today?
I don't care that much, to be really honest with you.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat each and every day. Get your thoughts in on the program. Sometimes the best topics come out of the chat. So you want to direct the direction of the program. It's a good way to do it. So join us in the chat. Also in the chat, we still have it pinned up or from yesterday. The battle for the belt is back and in full effect. A little different than it's been in recent years. It's going to be a weekly contest this year.
Yes, there will be season-long standings. So basically the way the seeding works is if you win multiple weeks, it's kind of like NASCAR playoffs. If you win multiple weeks, you're guaranteed a higher seed. And then from there, we will seed everybody based on the highest scorer of each week. So if you win one week at 190, Tank wins a week at 180, and yes, I do understand how hypothetical that is, then you would be seated ahead of Tank because you outscored him in the week that you won.
Yeah. All right.
So that is a reason to keep playing all year long. And then each week, if somebody is a repeat winner, we will put in whoever finishes second.
Mm-hmm. So
we will have 14 people in the finals regardless.
Yep. We'll have the link up to the contest in the YouTube chat each and every day, obviously. Also on all of the social medias, you can find it. The QR codes will be floating around on social media out there somewhere. Want to get everybody as involved as possible in this year's battle for the belt. It's going to be awesome. Daily fantasy football. We've got bangers coming your way this week as the as the college football season gets underway. The NFL's just, 1 week away. Today, a huge day in the NFL, roster cut day. We'll be looking at all 32 teams, the final roster cuts being made. 53 men enter, and hopefully 53 exit. But we know that's not going to be the case. Injuries do happen. We got a lot more injuries at the beginning of a year this year than I feel like we've had in a long time. Or at least there's more names that are being added to the PUP list as the roster cuts are being made. T.J. Hawkinson, I think, is one of the more recent names that was officially put on the PUP list. I think he's always been a good candidate for it.
Well, we always assumed that he would probably start the year on the PUP list. He got hurt late in the year. Everything I've heard out of Minnesota is that they expect in Week 5, when he can come off the PUP list, he should be fine. I feel like teams are being safer with the added. You and I were talking about this before the show. Now you can put a guy directly on the PUP list. You don't have to keep him on the 53 and then move him to the PUP.
Yes.
And that's beneficial.
Yes.
You can keep the extra player. You don't have to subject him to waivers. It's I do feel like there's more guys on PUP now than I've ever seen. T.J. Hawkinson, Nick Chubb,
Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb got put on it as well. I'm looking at the list here. The Carolina Panthers local team has Jonathan Brooks on the PUP list, so he will be out for the first 4 weeks of the season.
That is always how that was going to go.
Regardless. DJ Wanham and Amari Barno are both on the PUP list.
Which means Carolina, your ability to rush a passer is going to be Jadeveon Clowney-centric for 4 weeks.
Nobody's shocked that there is a Baltimore Ravens running back on the PUP list.
Is it J.K. Dobbins?
It is not J.K. Dobbins. He's in Los Angeles.
I don't care. He's still a Baltimore Raven running back.
It's Keaton Mitchell. He'll start the season on PUP as well. Charles Omenihu from the Kansas City Chiefs was a recent addition today to the PUP list as well. New England Patriots also have Cole Strange, the great first-round pick of a couple of years ago out of UT Chattanooga.
Tank, I need you to tune up. You know the song I want. It's the ASPCA song.
Oh.
Because we got two that are we got two that have literally just legit broken my heart. Dallas. Hey, Dallas, you know that thing I tried to tell you? Carl Lawson sucks. I tried to tell you. Hey, but he might make it back to the practice squad.
God, I remember how excited you were when y'all were getting Carl Lawson.
Yeah, and then his leg exploded.
Yeah.
Now in a foot race, I think he would lose to me.
It is brutal.
Which is very sad. It's just, okay, he's not good at football. I do need you to keep that button closed because I feel like, not for right now, just over the course of these 3 hours, I feel like we will be just inundated with Sarah McLachlan bangers.
Don't close the window is what that said to me. So I'm going to keep her head back here.
Could you possibly tell me any other song Sarah McLachlan ever did?
Didn't she do the Dawson's Creek song? Wasn't that her? I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.
I don't want to wait.
I want to know
right
now.
To be over.
What will it be? By the way, those are the only words to that song that I know, and my wife knows this because I sing them at random points all of the time, and I have for 20 years.
Your radio partner knows that too.
Well, that's because you used to watch the show. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not throwing shots. Dawson's Creek was the banger of a show for kids in our generation. Right?
And Katie Holmes was a smoke show before she got crazy and dated Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Or was married to Tom Cruise.
I never was a Dawson's Creek guy. I only knew James Vanderbeek from Varsity Blues. I knew it existed, but I never watched it.
You want to see the new Twitter End Zone Dance? You know what I call it? New Twitter End Zone Dance.
Oh, yeah. Scott Conn. Whatever happened to Scott Conn?
Who knows? He went into the pit
His
of
dad
misery.
probably killed him and buried him in the desert somewhere. Cause
his dad's not Garth Brooks.
of all the people in Hollywood ever, I would think James Conn and Christopher Walken have many bodies on their, toll, right? Right. They're responsible for several deaths.
And as a man that's as close to Christopher Walken as I am, I asked just one question. What? Are you a cop?
It is cut day in the NFL, and it's a day for, like I say this all the time, same thing about late rounds of the draft. I'm not really sure I'm swayed by anything that happens today. I'm not really sure that there's any groundbreaking thing that's going to happen.
Well, we have 2 super chats, and one of them is a groundbreaking thing. So I need the super chat sounder. Yeah! Soaring Eagle said, and by the way, this is a great way to get into the program. Super chat in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Our buddy Soaring Eagle said he just looked at the schedule for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and it is NICE nice. It is nice. Outside of Oregon, you don't really play a game that I think there's even a possibility that you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Quinshawn Judkins, they did fix the Judkins glitch from College Football 25, but I have a feeling that the Big Ten is not going to fix that glitch.
What is the Judkins glitch?
Oh, he could spin, and he could spin like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Really?
He was unstoppable. I was torturing people with that online.
Nice.
They would see me playing with Ohio State and immediately quit.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Let's not do that.
And our buddy, the Sportsocracy, the Ocho,
Mm-hmm.
who we have an announcement about later on in this here program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said goodbye, Bailey Zappi.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like that's Sarah McLachlan worthy for sure.
I would.
The great era of Bailey Zappi.
I will remember you.
I mean, I didn't need a reason to drink tonight, but now I got one.
I'm sad.
Because without Bailey Zappi, I just don't know what we're going to do in New England.
Remember how Patriots fans were so excited about Bailey Zappi for a half of football?
God, that was like the first time you saw a boob. I've never been that excited in my life of New England Patriot fans who have tortured my nightmares for 20 years are getting excited by a guy who has the athleticism of a wet fart.
But he threw for 70,000 yards in college.
Woo! He also played against a bunch of guys that are plumbers now. Sweet.
Poor Bailey Zappi getting cut loose. He's the odd man out for the New England Patriots. That means they will have Jacoby Brissett, Drake May, and Joe Milton as their 3 quarterbacks going into this year. And Drake May, I'm not going to be shocked if he's the starter.
I will be nominally shocked if he's not the starter.
Yeah. Yesterday, Gerard Mayo came out and said, it's clear to everybody that Drake has been outplaying Jacoby. Doesn't mean that he's the starter. I mean, because he did say after the preseason game where Jacoby went down with the injury that he could have stayed in this game, but it's the preseason, guys. We're not risking him to throw him back out there after he landed on that shoulder the way he did. So I don't know what to make of that scenario right now. All I do know is that Jacoby Brissett's lifeline as a starting quarterback in 2024 is on very thin ice.
If he even does start,
right,
it won't last long. The Ocho said, we were not excited. The same Patriot fans that were excited about that are also currently excited about Joe Milton. I don't disagree with you. Look, we have have a different brand of Patriot fan that listens to us.
Yes.
Because the Joe Milton, Bailey Zappi ones have already decided that they purely hate me.
I'm talking about the ones that we saw on, I want to say it was like a Thursday night game where Mac Jones got benched. And all of a sudden, we started seeing dudes with makeshift Zappy jerseys in the crowd. Those are the fans that I'm talking about, not the smart ones.
Oh,
Ocho, I would never lump you into the...
You, Bill Buttigieg, no smiles. Y'all are smart Patriot fans.
No, absolutely not.
And that's why we love you around here, because you are intelligent.
Right.
Patriot fans. We also we got a new one.
Oh, a new Super Chat?
Yeah! No, a new release.
Oh.
The Tennessee Titans are releasing Caleb Farley.
Oh,
shoot!
Well, I mean, I feel
that
like
was
we should
so much fun.
I will remember you.
Man,
and the 14 seconds he played.
I was about to say we should really take 11 seconds to reflect on the greatest plays of Caleb Farley's career, because that's all you need.
Yes, that was He was the guy, for those who don't know who Caleb Farley is, he was the guy that Tennessee drafted 4 years ago, I believe, 3 years ago. And 2 seconds after the draft, he went, my back hurts. And done.
LMNO dead.
And that was so much talent with no physical ability to get onto a football field. Another sad case in the NFL.
It definitely is.
Yes.
He did not play a lot of snaps in his career.
No.
Do you know how many snaps he played?
Is it like higher than 300?
No.
Is it lower than 150?
No, but you're close.
Like 175?
164. Oh. That was, look, if you ever want to know why we talk so much about medical records and things like that at the Combine, Caleb Farley is the living embodiment of it.
Yes.
Because his medical, from what I've been told, was just a nightmare.
Absolute nightmare. It came out that he had a back issue. And then, like I said, 2 seconds after the draft, it was, oh, God, he needs to have surgery on this.
Yes. and there were a lot of teams that knew that going in. They just straight up said there's no shot that he's going to be ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
He played very little early on. It took him forever to get on the field. It's a sad case. I hope he latches on somewhere. He strikes me as the kind of guy that will get a second shot on somebody's practice squad.
Yep.
And there could be a second act for him.
Here's a report out of Cleveland. Relatively significant quarterback news from Cleveland. Backup Dorian Thompson-Robinson has been informed he made the team. And now the team is fielding offers for Jameis Winston and Tyler Huntley to see if anybody wants them, because apparently DTR has done enough to make the three-man cut.
Which is insane because they were fielding calls on him yesterday. Could you make up your mind, please?
Both Winston and Huntley just joined the team as veteran insurance. So I guess apparently the medical has checked out on Deshaun and DTR.
Well, the medical has not come out on Deshaun yet. He's got a shoulder issue. I won't be shocked if they keep 4 quarterbacks. Honestly.
Yeah.
I will not be shocked at all if they keep 4.
All right. Noah Brown also cut loose today from the Houston Texans.
Houston, okay. How did you think you were going to be able to carry all these guys?
I don't know. They traded for Ben Skowronek, and he got cut loose today.
If Noah Brown doesn't go back to the Dallas Cowboys, I think we need to take the team away from Jerry Jones because he's smoking some kind of crimes, and that's where he came from.
I would have to imagine that's first on the list.
No doubt. Noah Brown can be a starter in this league.
Unless the Carolina Panthers snatch him up. Right?
You worry about Carolina's receivers way more than you should.
They're already looking to get Terrace Marshall out of town.
Well, because he's bad.
Of course. It needs so Noah Brown would be an upgrade, right?
This would be a great time for me to say, Carolina Panthers, if you had just hired me 4 years ago, you'd have never done this Terrace Marshall thing because I would have told you how bad he was.
He told you. He is everything that Justin Jefferson was supposed to be.
If Justin Jefferson was purchased from Temu, you would have gotten Terrace Marshall. I do love a receiver that's big-bodied and really fast and can't catch.
Mm-hmm.
Or separate somehow. That's confounding to me.
The Houston Texans, obviously, they went, we're just going to bring everybody into camp here, and we're going to see what wide receivers fit best with our superstar young quarterback. Although I really don't think you needed 12 of them. But here we are. And that's how you get to this point where Noah Brown's been cut loose, who will definitely be snatched up in a heartbeat. And the main reason I said that about Carolina was because Carolina has the number one priority. So Carolina can just pilfer anybody that they want. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a wide receiver, little guy to run out of the slot, Dave Canales, he's looking.
Noah Brown's not a little guy.
Is he not? I thought he was the little guy.
No.
In that
Noah
scheme.
Brown's 6'2".
Is he really?
220.
I didn't think he was that big.
No,
I thought he was a slot guy.
Noah Brown's a dog. The only problem is he can't stay healthy to save his life.
Right.
But man, when he's on the field, he can be special.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some huge games. And these are the kind of guys. Look, you're going to see a lot of players get released over the next 2 hours and 43 minutes that are going to make rosters in other places. You're going to have a lot of practice squad shuffling, and at San Francisco, Baltimore, a lot of these teams have taught us over the years, it's really important what you grab here.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the show, I have a rant that started in the mind of Mullet Sr., who then projected it in a text message to me. And the more I thought about it, the more I think he might have a point.
Oh, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Friday, October 18th, the Orange Peel presents comedian David Cross.
There are truly so many awful things about having a child, but there are. And I now have to engage in small talk and chit-chat that I never would ever give the time of day to, you know?
Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss comedian David Cross live October 18th.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's.
To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
iHeartMedia Asheville can't wait to bring you Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare, Saturday, September 14th at Carrier Park. Asheville, this is your opportunity to gather with your community's healthcare workers and show them the love. Live music, food, and beer trucks, and great prizes. Healthcare workers, be sure to bring something to show you work in healthcare for grand prize eligibility. Free and open to the public. Bring your lawn chairs and feel the love. iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare and Mission Health. Details at showlovefest.com.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount Football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field, E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free White Out t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
Finish the French fry tank. They can see you.
Thank you. Welcome back in to the program. Cut day in the NFL. We've got cuts being made. Teams have to get down to 53 men by 4 o'clock this afternoon. It is quite. This is the thing I love about cut day is that this is what it is. It's always the trip down memory lane.
Yes.
It's all the guys that you forgot were in the league that are still trying to fight for roster spots. The Buffalo Bills just cut loose Deion Jones, and And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know he was in Buffalo. Or I didn't remember that he was in Buffalo. How's that?
Well, it should tell you the state of Deion Jones' career when the Buffalo Bills, who have, I think, 3 linebackers left on the roster after Matt Milano's injury, went, nah, we're good.
Yep. C.J. Henderson, another one being cut loose by the Houston Texans.
I'll never figure out what people saw in him. I will never figure it out.
Well, I mean, I guess there were physical tools there that at some point maybe he could be transformed into a cornerback, but into a usable cornerback, but it didn't work for Jacksonville and it didn't work for Carolina, and now Houston's gone, you know what, we're good.
Houston looked at Jeff Okudah and went, no, we're good with that one. We have a slew of just absolute bust corners on this team. We'll go with that one.
Well, it also doesn't hurt that you drafted one this year.
Kwame Lassiter.
That's gonna start. That's all I've been hearing is Kamari Lassiter has been just tearing it up.
Kamari Lassiter. Kwame Lassiter was the receiver for the Bengals that got cut last night.
Kamari Lassiter from the Georgia Bulldogs has had a hell of a camp.
Yes.
And he is still, I believe, the projected starter.
He is.
On the other side.
He is. Okudah will be a depth guy.
Derek Stingley. Desmond King, I think I saw where he had been cut loose as well.
He was another one of those that I went, man, a team was still holding on to you? Really? You've been bad forever.
How a team builds their team, or builds out the rest of their team, fills their spots with these guys. How much does that matter, though?
It matters a lot. I can tell you, and I'll just give you an anecdotal piece of evidence of my team, team that I know the best. Last year, the Jets kept 9 linemen. They regretted that decision within 2 weeks. And Joe Douglas has said that probably 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Different Zoom press conferences I've been in on, I bet I've heard Joe say that 100 times.
Yeah.
So this year, they will keep 10. And if you look at how that affects things down the roster, you can only keep so many guys. All right, so there are not that many roster builds. The question is your team going to keep 2 quarterbacks or 3? The Jets have one that will stay on IR in Jordan Travis because he's not ready to play yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll keep Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. Most teams keep 4 running backs at this point. Most teams keep 6 wide receivers. Wide receivers is the first place where you really see some fluctuation. Some keep 7. Some try to get cute and keep 5. And they have one on the practice squad that they could elevate if they needed to. Then you get in tight ends, linemen. Basically, one way or the other, you're either going to keep 10 offensive linemen and 9 D linemen or flip it. And it does matter. It really matters based on your roster construction. Where I'll use Carolina. Carolina's an interesting one for me, and I don't know about you, but I've been going through and reading the beat writers, who they think is going to end up on the roster. I've been doing it for every team.
Yep.
And I look at Carolina, and I think they might be, I'm not going to say the most interesting team, but they're one that when the roster's cut down, I'm going to be really interested to see who's still standing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have some deficiencies that number one waiver priority is obviously going to help. But I don't think I view those in the same way that a lot of other people do.
Okay.
You seem to be worried about receiver way more than I am.
I believe it is a position of need.
I don't. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You have Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, Jonathan Mingo.
Mm-hmm.
You took Xavier Leggett in the first round this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4. Amir Smith-Marsette's probably the 5, and I think you've got 6 with Jalen Coker. I don't really think you're going to upgrade that. I
So,
mean, you said,
so like Noah Brown, he wouldn't be better than Jalen Coker?
Noah Brown, the problem with him is that Noah Brown's not subject to waivers. He's 5 years vested in the league.
Okay.
So he just goes out into the open market.
Right.
And I feel like he looks at Dallas, where he came from, goes, I can be the 3 in Dallas. I'd be lucky to be the 5 in Carolina. I'm not going to do that. Now, you get into younger guys, okay, but you've got to you would have to tap out theoretically on Amir Smith-Marsette or Jalen Coker, which are your guys that already know your system.
Right.
That's something that I feel like a lot of fans, and I'm not talking about you here. I feel like fans on the whole, they don't really understand that if you have a guy like Noah Brown, for instance, let's say he was subject to waivers. He's never played with Dave Canales. He doesn't know this playbook at all. He's just been inundated with the Texans playbook for 2 years. So you're going to have to push that out of his brain and then get him acclimated to what you're doing in 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. It will take 2 to 3 solid weeks to even get a guy really field ready. You can set a package of plays for them. Look at what happens with receivers when they get traded midweek. I can get you ready for 12 plays. You're running 5 routes probably. And so I can almost shorthand it where you play so few snaps that I can just tell you on the sideline, when your personnel group goes in, I can tell you 5. And so you know going in, I'm running a 5 route or I'm running a 7 route or whatever the case may be. It takes a while for you to get acclimated. So you're better off with a Jalen Coker who knows your roster, was really good in the preseason, as opposed to finding a receiver that somebody else cut. Because what you saw, you still got your grades. This is the reason I keep grades I keep them forever, but I keep them right here at my finger click for 3 years.
Yep.
Because guys get cut, I go back and look at how I evaluated them, what I thought about them coming out, and that's what NFL teams are doing. It's another reason that you really don't want to fire GMs and coaches as willy-nilly as fans often say you do. Because you want some continuity there. You want that depth of this is how we felt about this guy. We missed on this guy in the draft. Now we get second draft, or as Rafi in the league called it, second harvest. You get that here, and you can actually add a couple late-round flyer draft picks basically for nothing.
Yep. Carolina Panthers have already cut loose Michael Strahan. Not
Michael Strachan.
Yes, Mr. Strachan. They've also cut loose Dylan Johnson, who was the 4th running back on the team.
He'll make it back on the practice squad.
Lamar Jackson also cut loose, sadly. T's and P's. I remember when he was – oh, wait, not that Lamar Jackson. The cornerback, Lamar Jackson.
He used to play for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually not bad. He'll probably latch onto I would say he probably latches onto Carolina's practice squad as well.
Also, Mike Boone is going to be a casualty, but they plan to add him back to the roster
and
after waivers.
He'll probably make it back. You've got a handful of running backs. B. Malik in our YouTube chat asked if Dalvin Cook was worth grabbing in a deep dynasty because he is visiting the Dallas Cowboys. All I can tell you is what I saw of him with the New York Jets, which was that car is not just out of gas. We don't even have the vapor in the tank left to start the car. So if you put it on a hill and let it roll down, then maybe. But if you're thinking that thing's going to self-start, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah. And if I was Dalvin Cook, why would I want to do that?
Opportunity.
I guess.
With running backs, it gets to a point. Samaje Perine going to run into the same thing because Denver is basically releasing every veteran that's not
nailed down. Yeah.
Anybody doesn't have guaranteed money, Tim Patrick,
yep.
Samaje Perine, because they're tearing it down to the studs right in front of your face. Now, why they're doing that with a rookie quarterback starting, I don't know, but you are.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Don't forget to get in on the Battle for the Belt, our yearly fantasy contest. It's going to run week to week this year. Go on to thesportsocracy.com or just find us on all of the social medias or the YouTube chat pinned right to the top. All the details about the contest and how you can be a winner with us this year. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot afternoon, at least for this time of year. I might feel a little bit different if this was the middle of the summer, near just above 90 degrees. A good-looking day, and nice and dry for your evening plans. Overnight, mainly clear, about 66. So that's not terrible, but still warmer than we've been. Wednesday and Thursday, plenty of sunshine, low 90s. Chance of thunderstorms Friday, near 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stagik.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Plus, get up to a $300 instant gift for pillows and more.
If you're a medical professional, business owner, higher income, or self-employed, a new federal rule means now through August 31st is the last chance for people that don't get tax credit subsidies for lower premiums to lock in real health insurance at lower rates for up to 3 years. If you have marketplace, work, or healthcare ministry insurance, I'm talking to you. Hummingbird Insurance is offering free consults for quotes. There's no catch or strings. Get the free quote and decide. Hummingbird Insurance.
In 1944, Dodson Pest Control was founded with the core values of honesty, integrity, pride in their work, and respect for customers. 80 years later, the Dodson family still strives for those same values.
Hello, this is Bonnie Dodson. My father and uncle were always proud of their profession, and I am also proud that Dad's legacy lives on with my generation. We remain focused on providing every customer with the attention they deserve.
Dodson Pest Control, 80 years of experience. Visit DodsonBROS.com.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. It is time to get just a bit outside. And, you know, the podcast game works for some guys. Like majorly.
Us?
Like,
not like
I mean like big time.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, we're
guys
hoping.
like Pat McAfee, guys like, Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
They let us hang out with them at events, but it doesn't work for us like that. Not yet.
Taylor Swift's boyfriend and his much more likable brother have a podcast. We all know the New Heights podcast with the Kelseys, and they are selling out $100 million over the next 3 years, signing a deal with Amazon's Wondery. Not sure what Wondery is. You know what Wondery
Not a clue.
is? Okay. All right. Just curious. The deal announced today gives exclusive ad sales and distribution rights to Wondery. So the New Heights podcast apparently reaching new heights.
Let's see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes all the sense in the world.
And you can take that out of your hands. You don't have to do that yourself. You don't have to pay somebody else to do that, and they're going to pay you to take that on for you. That sounds like a wonderful idea to me.
I actually feel like $100 million was light. They've done almost 300 million video views.
Holy cow.
In 2 years. That's insanity. Let me
I wonder what the growth was after Taylor, though. I mean, I know it was already popular. We already talked about it as sports fans. But then after the relationship became a thing, because remember, it was from their podcast that we were telling the story because that's where we heard it, of Travis Kelce giving the bracelet.
When did the Taylor thing start at what, September of last year?
That was, yeah.
September, October.
Yeah, it was right before the season started.
Let's take a gander. And I'll take.
Just curious. I mean, that's got to be an audience growth of 5 times at least.
They went from. Oh yeah, I can actually tell you exactly where it was.
Okay,
because they added almost 200,000 new subscribers on between September 25th and October 2nd of last year.
That was when it happened.
They've only done over 100,000 in a week one other time, and that was the Super Bowl week.
Yes.
So I think I know. I mean, it was doing fine.
Sure.
It was good. We were hanging out, doing stuff, and then Tay-Tay. The week Taylor Swift showed up, they did 17 million video views in back-to-back weeks. They had done just under 60 million total in the year that they had been doing the podcast before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Taylor had a significant bump to the new heights.
The podcast of the year at the 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards.
Let's go.
How's that, Bob? How's that for your mention?
That would be Ad Sports Day ESPN.
He knows where to find me. New heights. According to Wondery CEO Jen Sargent, she says New Heights on the surface is a sports podcast, and sports is such a well-listened-to category, but it's really become a cultural phenomenon. They're in that cultural zeitgeist. Yeah. I just don't. I mean, is the retention there? Like, the Swifties are signing up, but are they watching? Just curious.
Watching the podcast or watching the
Yeah. I'm like, the Swifties are signing up, but are they watching the podcast?
Well, I mean, they stuck around and they basically take the offseason off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, their numbers cratered in the offseason, but I'll wager when the first one comes out,
we shall see.
Just fine.
We'll as long as he keeps telling Tay-Tay stories, they'll keep listening.
We have a vote with NFL owners today.
Mm-hmm.
They're meeting in Minneapolis.
Okay.
And basically there's only one question on the itinerary.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to allow private equity funds to buy up to 10% of our football teams?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't see a way that this gets shot down. It happens in every other sport. And Tank asked me a few questions about this before the show.
Mainly, what the hell does this mean? Because I have what's the big deal?
All right, so basically what this means is that 10% of the team is going to be offered like a stock option.
Mm-hmm.
So people, billionaires basically, can buy in. It's a flood of cash. And what do NFL teams? What is happening to the value of NFL teams?
It's booming.
It's going up.
Mm-hmm.
So, give me a team, any team.
Let's go Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. If you look up NFL team values, it's approximately what a team would sell for if they were put on the open market right now.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas. All right, you're going to have to give me a. Kansas City's not in the top 10. So you got to give me they don't own their stadium.
Oh, okay. Let's go bigger than Kansas City. Would it be the Chargers?
You suck at this game. So awful.
They don't have more money than.
Good God, no.
Than Kansas City?
They probably don't have more money than anybody. They split their stadium. They have one of the smallest fan bases in the league, and they have one of the cash poorest owners in the league. Let's go Washington Commanders.
That was the one to go with.
Rams is a good one because their owner.
I was thinking Kroenke. I said the wrong team.
Yeah, so the Rams are 2. So in theory, if the Rams went up for sale, they would be valued at somewhere between $7.75 and $8 billion.
Okay.
What this means is that the NFL is going to open up 10% of the ownership stake. They are silent partners. They have no vote. They have no nothing. The board, they don't affect the board of governors. They don't affect anything. So basically, $800 million worth of stock option would come open on the Rams.
Okay.
The intention is that 10 years down the line, the Rams aren't going to be worth $8 billion. They're going to be worth $12 billion. And so that equity stake would then be sold back to the team for the difference in the money.
For a profit.
But I just gave you $800 million that you can use to do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to build a new parking lot, if you want to sign a new star receiver, I don't really care what you do with the money. There's the money. It's basically like a giant loan against your team. NFL teams were not allowed to do that. The thought process is that it kind of mitigates. This doesn't happen as much anymore, but there are teams that are cash poor.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers are a good example. That's a team that is cash poor. The Spanos family is not as wealthy as a lot of other owners in sports, and they own the team solely. You look at a team like Washington. Washington has 7 owners. There's one governor, and then there's 7 underneath them.
Yep.
And I think between the 7 of them, they're worth like $240 billion or something ludicrous like that. Well, obviously, there's a discrepancy there. This allows you to pool money to not be cash poor.
Okay, so this is the Bail Out the Raiders fund.
Kind of.
Okay.
That's a decent way to say
All
it.
right.
Patrick Holt said so they're doing reverse mortgages now. Kind of.
Pretty much.
That's actually it's a really apt comparison.
That's good. That is a good way to put that.
But it's a reverse mortgage with absolutely no chance of the market downturning.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the billionaires are looking at this going, I get sweet seats at a Raiders game, and I can invest my money in something that I have no doubt will be worth more 10 years from now than it is now. Now, there is a downside.
What is that?
7 years ago, I think the last time we talked about doing this, one of the most vocal that he wanted to buy an interest in a team was Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can run into some problems because now you have more people that could get in trouble and do nefarious things that are attached to your institution.
Is it one of those also that you can't pick and choose who buys in? Or do you have control over that?
That is one of those things that's kind of team by team specific.
Okay. Because I was just curious, like if you put this $800 million stake up and you start getting all these billionaires into it, can I tell him no? Right? If I have that owner that I don't want to be a part of it, can I tell him no, or is it to the public and I have to let him
It's not to
buy
the public.
in? Okay.
It's not to the public. This is you've got to have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be able to produce a lot of cash immediately.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like buying a team.
Like I say, like Mark Cuban getting his foothold in NFL this way.
So something that not a lot of people know, when an owner buys a team, they don't necessarily show up and go, here's $4.7 billion in cash. You get into equities, you get into different liens on things that you have. It's not always just a straight cash sale. It is sometimes, but it's way more common the other way. Another thing that a lot of people don't understand is where you keep your money if you have that much money. Because you can't just go to the bank and go, I would like to deposit $472 million. Do that one day.
Yeah.
Just tell that to the bank teller and watch them poop in their pants, because they will. Straight up, they will.
Because they don't know what to do with it.
I actually used to have a business partner on another entity that I had years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude had, I don't know how much money he had, but he had a boatload. If we were quantifying it in crap loads, I don't know if he had 40 crap loads, but I know he had 20 crap loads.
Right.
And I did once see him go to the bank with a bag full of cash, and I watched a bank teller, I believe, defecate on themselves. I can't take that because we don't have enough room in our safe, and if somebody were to rob us,
the insurance,
none of this is good. None of what you're wanting to do can I physically do for you.
Those are things that normies like me, we don't get to experience those things.
Well, I mean, I've never done it personally.
I show up to the bank and go to the teller, and I'm surprised she doesn't ask me for money.
Tank shows up with 7 rolls of quarters going, I'd like to get my account back into the black.
No doubt about it. I have been in a bank for that reason way more times than I want to admit.
I have forsaken doing laundry this week because I need you to let me use my credit card again.
We
I I didn't plan on that going that way.
But it was. We're glad it did. We're
was-
all better off for it
That
going
was
that
an
way.
unexpected turn to that story.
I have been requested because we have a super chat.
Yeah.
And Soaring Eagle has asked for. Arizona Cardinals.
You built that
So
up.
sad.
You built that up in a way.
Oh, were you getting your hopes up that it was going to be like a name? It was going to be like something we could talk about? No, Desmond Ridder got cut.
I just Googled famous Desmonds, and he's not even in the top 10.
Desmond Howard's got to be one.
Desmond Howard is 3. Desmond Elliott is 1.
Desmond, who is that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Getting a wide range of people here. Desmond Harrington.
Nope.
He was an actor on Dexter.
Nope.
He was the cop that dated Dexter's sister. The guy that always wore like the cool guy shirts that were unbuttoned like.
Yeah.
The rest of
not the Hispanic guy.
No.
The boy. Okay, all right. Now
the boyfriend that actually
Yeah.
he had those cheekbones that you can't tell if he's had work done.
My
or if
kid,
there's something.
my teenage son started watching Dexter. Is that bad that I let them watch that show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
just
it is.
curious.
100% it is.
I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes. I've never seen like anything super outlandish while I'm sitting down with it. Well, I mean,
a lot of blood.
They watch Marvel movies. I mean, even Marvel movies have blood these days.
Yeah, not like this.
Okay,
As somebody
let
that's
me put
watched
it
that
to you this
series
way.
all the way through 3 times,
I let them watch Deadpool. It doesn't seem that bad to me.
Dexter's a little darker.
Anyway, the only thing about Dexter that skeeves me out, it's not the murder. It's not the psychopathy of it all. It's the fact that I feel like there's something going on between brother and sister there, and that's just weird.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have a weird chemistry.
Yeah, you need to get to the end of the show.
Oh, well.
Because you're picking up what they're laying down.
Okay, all right. Well, as long as I'm going down the path here, because I walked in the other day and there was a scene, and I'm looking at Josh, and I'm like, so he's married to her? And he goes, no, that's his sister. And I was like, well, they want to do stuff to each other.
Well, he was married to her in real life.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay, well then maybe that's what I'm picking up. I'm picking up like the natural chemistry between the two of them is coming over
they're
in the
divorced
show.
now. But yeah, they were married when they were doing the show and played brother and sister.
Okay, yeah.
The
that's
guy that
strange.
played Dexter lives in Asheville now.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, he lives in Asheville.
Michael C. Hall? No. Michael Anthony Hall? No, that was the
Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall. Anthony Michael Hall was the guy from the Brat Pack in the 80s.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was the one that nobody liked. So it was like John Cryer and Anthony Michael Hall are the ones that people go,
he did.
how did you get to me more?
No.
Like doesn't make sense.
He did that terrible teenager football movie.
Yes.
Johnny Be Good, I think was the name of it.
Stephen Tao. I mean, I feel like Dexter's old enough that I can ruin this for you. Dexter was adopted.
So that's his adoptive sister?
Yeah, but you don't figure that out. You don't find that out until later.
Ah, okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
That show's old enough.
I'm glad my kids are in school
spoilers.
I'm glad my kids are in school right now because I'm not sure they've seen that part of the show yet. So
yeah, sorry, spoilers. It's
it's been a while.
20 years ago.
Right. Like you can feel free to fill me in because I ain't seen it yet. I'm probably not going to see it.
It's a great show. You should definitely watch it.
It's all right. The episodes I've seen are all right.
Yeah, Stephen Tao said this whole Dexter segment is cringe. A, it's cringe that you use the word cringe in that form. B, Desmond Ridder is cringe, and that's how we got there.
That's right.
I can always tie it back. Might have to work a little bit.
That somehow, some way, we're going to put a bow on this, put lipstick on this pig, so to speak.
I don't want to put lipstick on this pig. Bad idea.
Didn't ask you to do anything more than that with the pig.
It's not me I'm worried about, Tank. It's not me I'm worried about.
Just make her look good, okay? That's all. That's all we need. NFL cut day following all of the news as it comes out. Yes, Desmond Ridder has been cut by the Arizona Cardinals. That means Clayton Tune is the backup there.
Desmond Ridder will go be someone's fourth running back, or fourth quarterback, excuse me.
The Carolina Panthers have now officially parted ways with
Terrace Marshall.
Former second-round pick, Terrace Marshall.
That was always going to happen.
Apparently he had a solid training camp, but did not make the cut after catching 64 passes in 3 years.
Oh, no, we got 2 more.
Oh, shoot.
New England Patriots are cutting Chad Ryland. What are we going to do? Stop drafting kickers. Ever. Don't do it in the 3rd round. Don't do it in the 7th round. It's never a good idea. Ever.
Nope. I mean, they're not all going to go as terribly as Jake Rohrwasser, but you're going to kill. You're going to kick.
Pretty close.
I was going to say you're going to kick yourself for doing it.
We have another one. You don't have to play the song.
Okay.
But, I mean, this one is T's and P's. Friend of the show, constantly mentioned on this show.
Mm-hmm.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have released C.J. Beathard. I'm just.
Oh no!
I'm distraught.
Oh no! Did I also see that Donovan Peoples-Jones got cut?
Probably.
And that
Probably,
my friends,
yes.
That, my friends, does deserve. Oh, Donovan. What never was.
It's
a sad day.
So this is actually the first. All right, so in the off season, we kind of redid the studio. So now I have an actual monitor that shows me what Tank is doing. I just saw the songs you have on the button bar for the first time since we've been doing this, and I must say, I would have thought there were more.
Now, these are just the usuals. I keep them on a separate window in case I need to go to them quick.
I mean, there's one of those that's going to be played in the next hour. Let's go.
All right. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 back after the top of the hour as we continue to watch the cuts being made around the NFL.
Hey there. Gerber Life would like to talk to you about the importance of guaranteed life insurance for when you...
No, thank you.
I get it. Nobody likes to think about life insurance because it means having to think about the end of... So, I'll make this short and sweet. If you're 50 plus or 50 to 75 in New York, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance regardless of your health. Guaranteed acceptance means you don't need a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, just call 888-532-5016. Then, when that thing you don't want to think about does eventually happen, and you know it will,
I'm not listening.
Your family can use the insurance money to help cover the cost of your final expenses, or anything else. Now that's worth thinking about. Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance. For a free quote, call 888-532-5016 today.
We had the appetizer last week, and now it's time to feast. College football is back. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for Week 1, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and number 16. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount Football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field, E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free White Out t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dales available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dales salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot afternoon, at least for this time of year. I might feel a little bit different if this was the middle of the summer, near just above 90 degrees. A good-looking day, and nice and dry for your evening plans. Overnight, mainly clear, about 66. So that's not terrible, but still warmer than we've been. Wednesday and Thursday, plenty of sunshine, low 90s. Chance of thunderstorms Friday, near 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Disasters at home from floods, fires, or storm is a homeowner's worst nightmare. It pays to have a professional on your side, and that's exactly what you get with First Restoration Services. They've built their business off trust, integrity, speed, and quality. Learn more online at FRS247.com.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. You can take us with you live or on demand. Also, you can see us everywhere you go on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and you can join us in the chat. Today is cut down day in the NFL. All 32 teams have to be down to 53-man rosters. Well, 53-man rosters plus the PUP list. And we got quite a few names on the PUP list. We have all the cuts rolling in. We have been playing the Sarah McLachlan music for the entire first hour of all the saddest names to come across.
Not really a sad name, but I tried to tell you so. Isaiah Spiller released by the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yep.
You said this is like a trip down memory lane. For me, this is like a nana boo-boo, stick your head in doo-doo. I tried to tell you on damn near all of these guys.
Right, draft night. I told you. You shouldn't do that.
Like, have we said a name yet that I was super high on? Or is it a lot of guys that you remember me going?
It is.
I don't know.
It is a lot of those of, I'm looking at. I don't really see a name popping out to me of a guy that you were excited about.
Here's what I can tell you: my hit rate is considerably higher than Trent Baalke's hit rate as of right now. We're not to the deadline yet, but I would say I would take my record against old T-Balks any day of the week.
Yes, and for all of the guys that you go out on the limb for. I call it going out on the limb. You call it doing research on. When we get to those later rounds, the fact that I haven't seen one of those names yet should tell you everything that you need to know. Sheldrick Redwine. There you go. You said one good thing about him 10 years ago. And seen. That's the best example I have.
The only thing I got is I once said his name sounded delicious.
Here's one. Samari Toure. I remember you liked him.
Yeah, Green Bay has 807 receivers.
Yep.
They can't carry them all. This is a good time to point out our buddy at DC Streams, Justin Harvey, messaged me at some point overnight. I got it this morning. About Dontavian Wicks. That's a name I didn't specifically say, but I do like him a lot for fantasy football.
It's just way too many mouths to feed.
It's not. You're doing that thing. Target share. All right. We didn't intend on doing a fantasy football segment here, but the Packers just released Sean Clifford. They traded for Malik Willis, which, whoa. If Malik Willis is considered an improvement, wow. Sean Clifford must have thought he was playing rugby. He was trying to spike the ball.
I was going to say, did you not watch him in college?
Yeah, he's not good.
Because he wasn't good.
Well, I watched him in college, which is why he would never been on my roster. But apparently, Green Bay didn't get him over 2 years. Green Bay they're an interesting team in that they have a lot of mouths. Look at who carves out a role. All right, so who are the receivers you're worried about in Green Bay with quote-unquote too many mouths to feed?
Well, I have Christian Watson.
Yeah, who's hurt all the time.
Sure.
He's also a gimmicky player that you have to really manufacture touches for because he still can't run a route.
Mm-hmm.
He can get open. Mm-hmm. Running a route and getting open are two completely different things.
Romeo Doubs.
Romeo
Doubs, the
guy
there for me.
He's not the guy. Romeo Doubs is, I would say he's probably the most consistent guy. But he's not a burner by any stretch of the imagination. And I promise you I'm going somewhere with this.
I would hope so. Then you got Reed.
Jaden Reed, who's the slot guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the tactician running routes that's really going to just kill you underneath.
Mm-hmm. And then you got Wicks.
Dontavian Wicks and Bo Melton, who I think will be the 5.
Okay.
Bo Melton is the only one that's also a deep threat. Dontavian Wicks is the specific, I can beat you over the top, take the top off the defense receiver. Where I look at, in situations like this, and Green Bay is the ultimate example of this, I'm looking for the guy that can't be replaced by somebody else. Christian Watson and Jaden Reed could be interchangeable pieces.
Okay.
Romeo Doubs has a legit spot, but it's not Dontavian Wicks' spot. That's why I look at Wicks and go, if I'm in a deeper league or I get to the 14th round and I need to take a flyer on a guy, if Christian Watson gets hurt, or which you don't want to forecast injuries, but he's been hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's hurt right now, as a matter of fact.
Yes, he is.
If Dontavian Wicks got into that starting lineup, he immediately becomes a top 36 receiver in the NFL. Because he can take the top off. His snap count is going to go through the roof, and he's the only legit deep threat.
Mm-hmm. Without Christian Watson.
I don't think Christian Watson's a legit deep threat.
Oh, okay.
He can run 9 routes. He doesn't consistently take the top off the defense because he's not a good route runner. So I know if I see him running, if I see him get past that 12 to 15 yard increment, I know he's going deep. Mm-hmm. He might slide in on a skinny post, but it's not like he's going to duck in and run a dig at 15 yards.
Yeah.
I know you can't do that because he rounds off routes and there's all kinds of things that go into that.
Sure.
That means Dontavian Wicks has the safest workload for the Packers because Jordan Love has a big arm and you got to have somebody that takes the top off the defense. that was a weird place for me to put that in, but it was something that I wanted to say because Justin Harvey pointed it out, asked me what I thought about Dontavian Wicks, and I went, hey.
Not weird at all. You're not weird at all, because anytime you have a fantasy question, you have a strategery question, throw it into the chat, hit us up on social media. We're always willing to talk about it, because I'll be honest with you, with every question you guys ask and every question I ask, I learn a little bit more.
The Ocho pointed out that this would be a good time for an announcement, and he's right. So for those of you that listen to us on terrestrial radio exclusively, the Ocho is David Smith, which is our fantasy football partner on Sundays. That show will be coming back this year. We will be doing it from our respective houses. Tank maybe from the Parks Ford Mobile Studio, because I don't know how good his internet is. I know how good mine is. I came here and went, man, I wish I had internet as good as I have at Mullet Better, because it just screams. Anyway, Ocho has been doing baseball and hockey, and it's David and Dubs, Stone Sports Podcast, another great friend of ours here. All of those things are going to continue. But with Tank and I having a markedly more difficult schedule this year, and having David, who is, well, let's face it, he's every bit as good as us, if not better, why would we not use that? So we are starting tomorrow, going to be taking the Ocho, and we are rebranding it to the Sportsocracy, the Great North.
Nice.
David lives in Canada. He is going to do. He's going to continue doing baseball. He's going to continue doing hockey, but he's also picking up the northern teams. Obviously, Tank and I are in the South, so we fixate more on Carolina, Tennessee, Atlanta, Miami, Jacksonville, New Orleans, the Texas teams, the Jets, because I'm a fan. I think I said Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't, I meant to. So that just takes some of the pressure off us and gets fans of those northern teams a little more love with the same quality that you would expect from Tank or I. We're very excited about it. I will be joining them on the Sportsocracy, the Great North, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern for a live stream. First time that either one of us have been on that show. And we will do. We'll crack it up about northern football teams, because I don't know squat about baseball. You can ask me, but I'm just going to look at you and go, that's that sport that comes on that I immediately turn off, right?
Yes.
Those are when I go to the league or Dexter or Friends or something of that nature.
Yes. Or like I did or have been doing since, what was that, mid-July? Hey, let's turn on. Let's see what the Red Sox are doing. Oh, we're losing 4-1 in the third inning. Yeah, I don't care. Let's go play college football 25. That's where I've been at. Just looking down the list here, the Rams releasing their roster cuts, getting their roster down to 53 men. They've cut loose Boston Scott, which is one of those names.
Oh, shoot.
Maybe. I lost my window.
Of course you did.
Of course. Well, he asked me where I found it, and then I had to pull it up and show him, and then I lost it. It's all Colby's fault. You know that.
Olu is a mediocre linebacker.
Sir Roderick Thompson, also cut loose.
Who would have thought a 260-pound running back wouldn't work in the NFL?
Salvon Ahmed, no more with the Miami Dolphins.
Oh.
And also the legend has been released. White Mike.
What?
Yeah, the next Tom Brady. Tom Brady 2.0.
Come back home, White Mike. We will appreciate you in New York. Miami did not appreciate you. You did great things for us. Every word I say, I feel like I'm sliding into Donald Trump.
You are.
It'll be a huge reuniting. Be the biggest reuniting in the history of reuniting. New York for White Mike.
Yeah, everybody's got to get down to 53 by 4 o'clock this afternoon. So the final roster cuts are being made, and we're just saying goodbye to some of our friends.
It's really this is almost like a sad show. Some of these guys will just never see again. It's just going to go on about their life work and work at the Home Depot. Or maybe they'll be your server at a Chili's or an Applebee's.
Or they'll decide to take pay cuts from those jobs and join the XFL.
I could be the happy hour bartenders at the Applebee's for dollar margs. Or I could be the starting running back for the Arlington Renegades or the San Antonio Brahmas.
Trajan Jeffcoat sitting back right now going, you know what? I could be manager within 6 months.
They have a really responsible match on my retirement.
That 401k
I love working
plan.
for Geico because really they give me the tools to be my own boss.
Tar Heel fans will remember this name, Marcus McKeithen. It's been cut loose by the New York Giants. The Giants just went, you know what? I'm not sure how we're going to decide who's the worst on this roster. But I think we're just going to play rock, paper, scissors. And so lining up at the door today, rather than using their key cards, Brian Daboll was sitting outside just rock, paper, and scissors with everybody.
I feel like they drew straws, and whoever got the short straw is who made the team. You lost, which means you got to come play. Poor old Marcus McKeithen. I mean, to get cut as an offensive lineman for the New York Giants, shoo, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
When you're the baddest of the bad, that doesn't feel awesome. Like, you don't walk away from that feeling hunky-dunky.
Also, Joshua Kelly being cut loose. That's another one of those. Like, you couldn't be a running back for the team that has no running backs? Just seems weird to me. Sucks to suck, I guess. But there you go. CFL calling your name. Or the XFL. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Burger King's kicking up the flavor. Things are heating up at Burger King. Introducing the all-new Fiery Menu. 5 of your favorite items now at 5 levels of heat. From mild with fiery strawberry and Sprite to wild with the fiery bacon royal crispy chicken. Now that's major. You roll your season today at BK. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Spicy strawberry puree with Sprite.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most. Attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
And we are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. The Living the Dream Tour continues this week. Jeremy heading down to Alabama on Thursday.
Jacksonville, Alabama, Jacksonville State, Coastal Carolina, let's go.
Had to take him in a little cockfight on Thursday night. And then on Saturday, the noon kickoff down in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, number 1 Georgia, number 16 Clemson Tigers. It's going to be a phenomenal kickoff to the season. There is a lot going on. Thursday night's going to be fun, especially for North Carolina football fans. Tar Heel fans will have football here on ESPN. 570 will have the Wolfpack taking on Western Carolina. Wake Forest is also playing on Thursday night. Like they told everybody that they had to play on Thursday night in the state of North Carolina. And then you got Friday night football. And then on Saturday, you got college getting underway in earnest with every team under the sun going to have a game this weekend. And the big ones are all going to start right there in that noon slate with Georgia and Clemson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got a good slate of games. You got Colorado probably losing to North Dakota State. That's a thing. It's probably going to happen.
I'd love it.
I have gotten to a point where I am adamantly rooting against Deion Sanders. This thing with the reporter, I got into a long discussion about this last night of no. You got to read through the nonsense here. This is not how programs act. He didn't make a personal attack at Deion Sanders. He literally just called him on the carpet, and Deion didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's frozen out. I'm good. I'm good. And I love Deion. I have a helmet with his signature on it right behind my head right now.
But we love the thought of Deion.
I love the player Deion.
We love the idea of Deion.
I love the player Deion. I love the personality. I love all those things. I don't want them to be my head coach.
No.
You know, look, when 2.5 Men was really popular, I loved Charlie Sheen. You know what I wouldn't love him as? My babysitter. I have no interest in that. All right? Bert Kreischer is a great friend of mine. You know what I don't want him to be? My designated driver.
Yeah.
Just because I like you does not mean that you fit into a role.
It's just after, we've been working on a special project with a great coach here in town that you're going to hear much more about through the rest of the season. But in discussions with people who actually have the best intentions for everybody under their watch, that's what a great coach is. A great coach is somebody that comes in and is able to inspire the guys to be better than they are. Not just on the football field, but as people. And Deion doesn't do that at all.
No.
And every piece of information that we have coming out of Colorado since he signed the contract, before he even set foot on ground, it's been a disaster. If that's how you mark success, which I think most football fans either do or should. You should gauge success by the characters that you're building. And Deion is doing nothing but creating 7 more little Deions.
Well, I'm not going to go down that path. Where I'm at is you've either got to be a great leader of men or you have to be at least a decent leader of men and winning football games. You're leading guys. I mean, basically, you're bullying guys from what some of these guys have come out of this program and said.
No doubt.
And you're still going 4-8.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, to me, it's a joke.
As a head coach,
it has become a joke where I've just come to realize the punchline ain't coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is, I fully understand why a program like Colorado would hire Deion Sanders. I also fully understand why the only program that would hire Deion Sanders was Colorado. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It now makes all the sense in the world to me. You know, I've heard people talk about he could be the next head coach at Florida. Are you out of your mind? They have run Billy Napier out of town because he has no idea how to handle people.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that Deion comes to town with that swagger and goes 3-9 in Florida. How do you think that's going to play? 4-8 for Colorado is an improvement.
Mm-hmm. And they're already being sued by recruits who have been misused or mispromised things or whatever. What do you think is going to happen with Deion? I don't know. I got a good feeling that this is not only is this not going to end well in Colorado, it's going to be something that hangs for a long time.
I feel like, you know, Deion decided that he didn't want to answer the reporters' questions anymore. So I feel like we should go in reverse.
Yep.
And go full conversation probation until you win a game against a team that actually makes a bowl game.
Yep. That's a good one.
We will talk about you again when you beat either an FBS team that qualifies for a bowl. Nope, that's it. I really don't want anything more than that. Because that probably means that I'll never have to talk about you again.
It's quite very positive.
And guess what? I'm not credentialed with you, so you got nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to freeze me out? Cool. I didn't ask. That'd be like somebody taking my Rocky Mountain oysters. Well, you can't have these. I didn't ask for them. Didn't want them. You throw those in the old garbage.
That'd almost be like offering somebody a priceless gem and never asking
how much.
How much?
But didn't even ask.
You didn't even ask how much. For those of you who don't know, I was offered a speckled piece of road rock from a less fortunate soul outside of a local gas station.
I think everybody that listens to this show now knows that story.
I hope so. I'm just thinking on the off chance that somebody's listening, they go, what the hell are y'all talking about? A guy walked up to me outside of a gas station in East Asheville, looked, he had a rock in his hand, and he goes, would you like to buy my rock? I said, no. He said, but you didn't even ask how much. I don't care how much. I'm not even giving you a penny for that thing.
I am shocked that over all the years we've done this show, and as much as I'm in public, nobody's ever picked up a handful of gravel and gone, you want?
They will now.
100%
You can guarantee they will now. Following all the cuts being made across the NFL, the Green Bay Packers have cut loose Anders Carlson. Just once again proving that kickers aren't people.
Stop drafting kickers.
Did they draft him?
Yes. I had to think about that. Yes, they did.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to pull up the list of the last handful of kickers that got drafted in the NFL, and you're very quickly going to realize why I keep saying this. Because you know who's not on this list? Justin Tucker's not on this list.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of not good. You had a handful this year. I'm going to bypass those.
Okay.
Because obviously we can't cast aspersions. Jake Moody, he's been incredibly inconsistent. This was in the 23 draft. Chad Ryland and Anders Carlson, both cut today. Year before that, Cade York, traded earlier this week.
Yep.
Year before that, Evan McPherson. Okay, that one worked out. Year before that, Justin Rohrwasser, Tyler Bass, and Sam Sluman. You see the trend here?
Mm-hmm.
Year before that, Matt Gay and Austin Seibert. Oh, by the way, Matt Gay was drafted by the Buccaneers. He's played for 3 teams since then. Austin Seibert's the backup kicker for the Jets right now. Yeah, it's kind of just proving my point.
Just don't waste
kicker.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
Yeah, don't waste draft capital on a kicker.
Yeah, Harrison Butker, he got drafted by the Carolina Panthers. He didn't play for the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
His best days, if he ever gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, he will mention Carolina, and there will be a comma in that sentence where he starts talking about his actual career.
Mm-hmm. Who does today mean the most for, though, in the NFL? That's another major question I have about NFL cut day. Of teams like, is it teams like the Carolina Panthers? They have the most to gain, I would imagine,
certainly,
by being the team that is the worst in the league, or was last year. They have the number one waiver priority. They're very thin at some spots. I'd imagine they're on the list.
Well, I mean, just you look at Carolina, and we are a Carolina affiliate. We're in the market. You're going to have Jonathan Brooks on PUP.
Mm-hmm.
You've already cut Terrace Marshall, so I believe you're at maybe 6 receivers. Maybe they keep the 6 that I said, which would be Johnson, Thielen, Mingo, Leggett, Smith-Marset, and Jalen Coker.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end, you're not good. You have 3 guys that I'm not sure even belong on this roster, and Jatavian Sanders. I think you're going to see them take a lot of shots because there are just a bunch of bottom-of-the-roster guys. Can you name a defensive lineman on that team that's not Derek Brown?
DJ Wanham's the only one I know, and he's hurt.
He's on PUP.
And that's the only reason I know the name is because they've been saying, he's going to start the season on PUP.
Shy Tuttle, Ashawn Robinson, Nick Thurman, LeBrian Ray, and TJ Smith. I'm going to be honest with you. I graded every one of these guys. 3 of them are not rosterable NFL players.
Mm-hmm.
So they could make the roster and then not make it to week 1. Because, look, you're going to see a lot of teams, a lot of high-end teams that are cutting super talented players. Have you noticed that all the teams that we've talked about that have really already put out their list, they're all bad?
Mm-hmm.
You know why that is? Because they're not worried about you picking them up.
Yeah.
The guys that they want to keep, they're going to be able to keep. Because everybody's sitting around waiting on the 49ers and the Jets and the Ravens and the Eagles and really good, deep teams that have hit a lot of undrafted guys. The Jets have 7 players that were undrafted free agents that I could make a case deserve to make this roster.
Really?
You can't keep them all because you've drafted well. I might have a little rant at the end of the show, a plea to Roger Goodell, if you will, about UDFAs.
Yeah.
Comes from Mullet Senior. I will give Mullet Senior all the credit for. He put it in my head, and the closer I get to having to say farewell to 37 Jets, I'm starting to see it his way.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. When we come back, we'll get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot afternoon, at least for this time of year. I might feel a little bit different if this was the middle of the summer, near just above 90 degrees, and a good-looking day, and nice and dry for your evening plans. Overnight, mainly clear, about 66, so that's not terrible, but still warmer than we've been. Wednesday and Thursday, plenty of sunshine, low 90s. Chance of thunderstorms Friday, near 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
If you're listening to this Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance ad, there's a good chance that you're alive. And if you're not, well, this may not be of interest to you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life insurance, I'm going to live forever. Death is what happens to other people. Well, for the sake of argument, let's assume you're wrong, and that someday you won't be listening to the radio anymore. I know it's not easy to talk about, so I'll do the talking. If you're 50 plus and alive, or 50 to 75 in New York, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance regardless of your health. And since this life insurance is guaranteed, you don't have to get a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, visit GerberLifeFamily.com. Then when you stop, if you stop listening to the radio, your family can use the insurance money to help cover your final expenses or anything else. Your kids already inherited your ears, allergies, and questionable singing voice. Don't make them inherit your final expense tab too. Visit GerberLifeFamily.com. See website for terms and restrictions.
WNC healthcare workers, don't miss iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare, Saturday, September 14th at Carrier Park. Join fellow healthcare workers for a day of live music, great food and drinks, and incredible prizes. If your job involves keeping people in Western North Carolina healthy, your community wants to celebrate you. For grand prize eligibility, be sure to bring proof of employment in the healthcare field. iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare and Mission Health. Details at showlovefest.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We're back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's time to get weird. I like weird stories. I like sports. And when I see weird sports stories, I just have to bring it to you. This week is a big week, apparently, in one UK neighborhood or village or whatever the hell they call them. Municipality, maybe. I don't know if they go by that either over there. Anyhow, this week is going to be this week was the long-awaited return of the World Gravy Wrestling Championships.
I chose a bad time to stop paying attention.
The World Gravy Wrestling Championships, the international event, named one of the top 10 weirdest sports in the world, saw 16 men and 8 women battle in 2,000 liters of gravy for, stuff. I mean, there was a nice little silver trophy that they gave out at the end of it.
You know what they should have? They should have given out an angioplasty.
18-year-old George Young took home the title for the men. The winner of the women's division was Christine Rogers, a 6-time competitor who slid her way to victory dressed as Barbie Q. Get it? See? Aha. Yeah. Contestants must wrestle in the gravy for 2 minutes, with points awarded for fancy dress, comedy effect, and entertainment. The event also raises cash for hospice, so that's a good cause. We like that. Even the local fire brigade, it says, gets involved by washing down the wrestlers between the bouts. According to the organizers of the event, at the Rose Inn Bowl pub, not the Rose Bowl, the Rose Inn Bowl pub in Rosendale, quote, serious aggressiveness, roughness, or unsportsmanlike conduct results in a disqualification. So this is so it's like a show, we're not really trying to hurt each other here. It's like pro wrestling, only much lesser athletes, and they're all covered in brown gravy.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's brown gravy. Yeah, it's the gross brown gravy.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, that does make me feel better about what I saw on your computer search history earlier today. My story is about Noel and Liam Gallagher. They have been feuding for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know this?
I mean, I knew they were fighting.
They haven't spoken to each other in 15 years.
Okay.
Until now.
Okay.
Because now we have an Oasis reunion tour.
See, that's bigger than Creed.
Well, A, no, it's not. B, it's only in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They will be playing shows in Ireland and in England. Limit of 4 tickets per purchase. And it has sparked a great outrage online.
Oh, yeah?
Between Gen X and Gen Z.
Okay.
Because Gen X, which I am a member of, believes that Gen Z should not be allowed to buy tickets because you were not around for Oasis. And we don't want you ruining our time. This is happening right now. All over message boards, all over Ticketmaster. It's happening widespread.
Really?
Of there should be an age limit on this show, and it should be over 25. And I think it's brilliant. I'll tell you why. You took a pot shot at Creed, which just, in life, there's only 2 things you can show, your ignorance and your ass, and you showed them both. Creed was great. When that riff came on, it was in the second encore, and Jeremy was learning things about himself, and it was him and a bunch of other about 40-year-old dudes that were having us just a big old time.
Just squealing like little girls.
100%.
Yeah.
Singing every word. Just, woo! Scott Snap! And you know what would have ruined it? A bunch of teeny boppers that don't know the words. I agree with you, Gen X. We must stand up to the plague that is the younger generation and their god-awful music and tell them you cannot enjoy it. You are not allowed to enjoy good music. You sit at home. You think about what you did with Drake and Sexy Red and all this other crap that you put on radios. You leave Oasis and Creed and good music, you leave that to us. We get it.
Crash Test Dummies.
Yes. Hootie and the Blowfish is coming to Greenville next month. And guess what? I'm going to be there.
Yeah, that's a great show. Hootie's so good.
I met Darius Rucker many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
Top 5 nicest people I've ever met in my life. I met him at a South Carolina game.
I met him. He came by when I was just a wee lad working in radio. Because
you were never a wee lad.
Well, no, that's true.
You were a young lad.
True. I was a young lad.
You're a wee lad now.
Radio. 20-some years ago, working down in Charleston. He's from Charleston, hangs around all the time. He came out to the radio station. He sat there and talked to me for 45 minutes about sports until his manager had to run him out of the room. Like, we have to go. We've got lunch with Cuba Gooding Jr. Would you come on? I made that up. He did not have. He did because I mentioned that to him while we were talking. Was next time you're here, if I bring you a football, will you sign it? No, I am not Rod Tidwell, Hootie. And then Cuba was in town doing radio, and I wanted him to get to sign the same ball that said, I am not Hootie, Rod Tidwell. I thought we could auction that off for charity. It'd be a great idea. Couldn't get them in the same room together. I tried.
Oh,
I tried.
They weren't receptive to that idea.
No.
I'm shocked.
No.
We have another one.
Which one? Is this the super chat or is this
we have
the release?
We have another.
Is this or
this might actually be worth Everybody Hurts.
Oh, okay.
For this show, who is the greatest name that I could say has been officially waived? Has a great tie into this show and maybe one of the most famous moments we've ever had.
Oh, I was going to say Baker Mayfield, but I know he's not getting cut.
The Kansas City Chiefs are waiving Kadarius Toney.
Oh!
The last need that we needed.
No. How?
But
why? He's so good at football.
But according to Ian Rappaport, he will have a market elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Where is elsewhere? You notice he didn't say he will have a market in the NFL. Yes, he might have a market in Canada.
He is going to be the newest receiver / weapon for douche McAllister or whatever his name is that runs the fantasy football or the flag football league.
His name is Deuce.
Oh, Deuce. No, it's Hoosh. That's it. It's Hoosh. Hoosh Doucette. Sorry, I screwed that up.
Yeah, you did. Freudian slip, some might say.
His name's not Douche. Are you sure? Because I think that would look better on a jersey.
At Sports Tank ESPN. Yeah, I do believe that Kadarius Toney will probably have a job as a receiver on a dock at Lowe's. He will be receiving shipments at Lowe's, the home improvement superstore.
Yes, he will be the fastest getting buggies at the local supermarket.
No doubt about it.
He's got a future in the XFL.
Well, that Kadarius Toney is proof positive of when you tell me how fast a guy is, you should probably quantify that with can he catch? Because you can be just lightning fast, but if you can't run routes or catch, that's kind of a problem.
I would have thought, too, with the new kickoff rules, like that might be down his alley.
It might. He may end up getting a job like that. Look, I've bared witness to that kickoff rule in 3 separate scenarios. I've watched it evolve from the Hall of Fame game where you and I were, where I swear to God, I don't think anybody told the Bears. I think they just made them line up, and they went, what are we doing? This, I don't go here. I go back there.
It was because they did something on they did something different on every kickoff. There was no static coverage. It was, hey, let's just see what works here.
The Bears were certainly trying something just to see, maybe it'll work. Then Titans 49ers, I definitely saw a level of we're getting more comfortable with the rules. Now we're getting acclimated to, well, there's a lot of stuff we can do now. Then I went to Jets Panthers. The Jets ran a reverse on a kickoff that I saw that and immediately went, oh, there's a lot of opportunities there. Then I watched the Steve McNair documentary and saw the Frank Wycheck Music City Miracle, and I went, yeah, it's not going to take long before we see that.
Yep.
That's coming, and it ain't going to take that long.
Yep.
By the way, have you watched that documentary?
I have not.
It's well done. That Untold series on Netflix.
Okay.
This
was all about the miracle?
No. This was about the death of Steve McNair.
Oh,
and
okay.
The investigation and all the things, and there were some conspiracy theories at the end. I don't know what to do with it. I hate when documentaries do that. Like, don't tell me something that is – give me the facts, and I'll ascertain my own conspiracy. Okay? You leave the conspiracies to me.
He's good at that.
I got that on lock. All right?
They're trying to help the rest of us that don't think like that.
Well, maybe.
Okay, so I'll have to check that out.
Got your Amazon devices that they can read your thoughts, but you don't think the birds have something to do with that. Okay, who's the crazy one now?
Well, I mean, we were talking about Carolina earlier. Like Amir Smith-Marset, he's going to be the return guy, isn't he, for the Carolina Panthers?
I would rather have Amir Smith-Marset than Kadarius Toney.
Jamal Agnew's name came up today as a guy to watch because he's apparently getting interest with all these teams making cuts.
Yes.
Because he's such a good returner. We saw already in the early stages of the offseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers went out and got Cordero Patterson. And a lot of it was for that very reason, was that he's so good with the ball in his hands. Maybe he'll be used more in that return game or whatever gadget play they want to draw up.
I don't think that's – you've said that a couple times about Cordero Patterson. He knows the offense because he was with Arthur Smith in Atlanta. I think it had way more to do with that than it did kickoffs. I could be wrong, but Pittsburgh has several guys that can return kicks. So I would be –
Justin Fields, one of them.
Justin Fields going to be playing quarterback. The problem that I have, at least what I'm seeing, and Kelvin Joyner, who is he's a football coach and has a really good point here. He said your blockers only have to get to linebacker depth. You're basically running actual plays on a kickoff now. That's where I look at these guys that have a running back background. Velus Jones is the one that I keep coming back to. I've seen him on Hard Knocks a handful of times. You have a role in this league because that's basically what this is. If you look at the way kickoffs break down now, it almost turns out – the only thing I can think about is playing Madden when you do the little training camp drills and you have the one where you have to, it's just waves of guys and you have to weave in and out. That's what it feels like, is that you've got blockers that set up to basically wall this off, and it's just a big glorified run play. Can you find the hole, and then can you outrun these guys when you get to depth? I think it's really interesting. I put it out on our social media of, do you like the new kickoff rule? And universally it was no.
No.
And nobody really gave me a reason why.
Because it's boring.
It's
because
not boring.
You haven't.
No, what it was boring.
No, I'm saying you haven't, because you haven't seen it yet, right? All of the those of us who don't watch all of the games, right? We haven't seen a highlight yet of this actually working. And every report that I have read on this, all the statistics are they gained a yard. I think that was where we were at after 3 weeks of the. But that's how fans judge this. Of, I don't like this because it's different. I'm not used to it, and guess what? It hasn't done anything for the game yet.
So, to me, that argument is absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in the preseason, where you're not even really sure who you're putting back there, and at times you're putting 4 to 6 guys back, different guys back there a week. Of course, it's not doing much.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what it does open up. It's no longer a formality. This is, to me, it's the same thing that we saw with the extra point. Put the extra point back at the 25-yard line. Now it's a 42-yard kick. There's a possibility you could miss that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're going to miss a lot of them, but you could miss it, and that changes things. The kickoff had become completely irrelevant. You might as well have just given teams the ball on the 25-yard line. And now there's a level of strategy to it, because if you kick in the end zone, they get it at the 30. I don't know if you've ever looked at the metrics of how much more often you score points getting it at the 30 than you do at the 20. It's a lot. It's not as significant as when you get to the 40 and to the 50, but it's still a significant jump. And I think over time we will come to really like this. You've just got to be open to the idea that you've opened the ability to have big plays come out of the kickoff. I'll again use my team. There's a kid on the Jets right now. His name's Brandon Codrington. He's specifically a kick returner. He was a corner in college. He played at North Carolina Central or North Carolina A&T, one of the schools in the middle of the state. He is a phenomenal kick returner. I mean, is one of the best I've ever seen. He has yet to have a kick return that didn't gain positive yards, kick or punt. And he's just electric with the ball in his hand. I don't know how you keep him. I have no clue. The Jets are stacked at corner. But could you keep him as just a kick returner? You have Xavier Gibson who can do it, but he's not as good doing this as Brandon Codrington is. Brandon Codrington doesn't offer the value to your offense that Xavier Gibson does. He plays defense. He doesn't offer the same thing to your defense either because he's not a very good corner.
Right.
But I do think we're to a point now where it's at least a discussion. I don't think you can keep the guy solely because he returns kicks. He has to give you value somewhere else. And that opens up a Kadarius Toney of he's not as good returning kicks as Brandon Codrington is, but he can actually give you some form of value as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
If you had an injury, he can play in the slot and at least justify being on the roster. That's one of the interesting things of today is that I think you're going to see a team that will keep a specific kick returner because it's such a big part of the game now.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a guy that rips off 3 kickoffs in a year, is that worth more than your 6th corner? Because I would say yes.
Yeah. I still stand by what I said when we came back from the Hall of Fame game. I still believe that there are going to be a bunch of big plays out of kickoffs this year. Just because you haven't seen it in the preseason yet, I don't think that should concern you. There are some people who like it. There are a lot of people who are just opposed to change. It happens a lot with NFL fans. We're opposed to anything different. This ain't the game I grew up with. How many times have we heard that?
Well, I mean, in large part, the 2-point conversion is not something you grew up with.
Right.
That's an improvement to the game.
Sure it is. But every time there's something new, some other development, for the most part, It makes the game different from what we're used to, and so we don't like it. Now, have been massive changes to the game over the years where, yeah, we don't like that, right? We don't. Older fans don't like the fact that the game has become less physical, right? That it's less rough. All the player safety things, right? The tapping a quarterback on the helmet. We all lose our minds when stuff like that happens. College football with the targeting rules and all of that.
By the way, have you noticed that the number of those has gone through the floor?
Yes.
Am I the only one that's noticed that? I saw one in the Florida State-Georgia Tech game and went, oh, I mean, that's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even mentioned. Couple other, because I watched every game. I don't remember some of them, especially those that were
after
later in the evening. But there were several times that I thought, that's targeting. And it was never referenced.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think if it were me, I'm not saying this is the case, but if it were me, I'd dial back on all that stuff, especially in the first week of the season. You're the only game on television right now. Everybody's watching. Are we going to start this argument on week 1 when we should be talking about what a great job, Georgia Tech is doing or what a horrible job Florida State is doing? Let the game do the talking. Let's not be – I would have had that discussion with the referees before we go out there. Just be mindful, guys. Maybe today's not the day to go letter of the law. I doubt that conversation was had, but it could have been. You never know. I still feel like the over-under is at 9.5, and I'm still on the over. I think we're going to have that many touchdowns on kickoff returns this year.
After seeing it up close and personal, I don't disagree with you.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We got one more hour to go. We'll be back in a moment.
Everyone's favorite, the Canton Labor Day Festival returns September 1st and 2nd at Sarles Park. The Canton Labor Day Festival returns with food trucks, breweries, craft vendors, a classic car show, parade, ultimate air dogs, kids zone, Canton splash pad, and more. Plus, legendary Marshall Tucker Band headlines an exciting music lineup that includes Balsam Range. Buy your passes now at CantonLaborDay.com. Presented by Champion Credit Union, supported by Duke Progress Energy, Hyatt Pipe, Waste Pro, McGill Associates, Haywood County TDA, and 99.9 KISS Country.
If you snore or you have been diagnosed with sleep apnea, then you're not breathing adequately at night, and we all need a good night's sleep. A custom oral sleep appliance is perfect for people who can't use a CPAP for their obstructive sleep apnea. And if you have that prescription for an oral appliance from your physician, you can take it to Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, and they will do the rest. If you've not yet been diagnosed with sleep apnea and maybe you think you have it, then Dr. Merrill is happy to help you out with a free sleep apnea screening. Find out more online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
Football season is here, and at Haywood Regional Medical Center, we know it's not just the players who need to stay in top shape. Whether you're an athlete pushing for the win or a fan enjoying the action, our orthopedic team is here to keep you in the game. This season, let Haywood Regional Medical Center meet your orthopedic needs. From tears and strains to sprains and breaks, we use today's therapeutic technology to keep you moving. Visit myhaywoodregional.com to learn more. Haywood Regional Medical Center, sports medicine and orthopedics to help you live your healthiest life.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of First News on 570, the great Tulsi Gabbard joins us in the 8 o'clock hour to talk about her recent endorsement of the Trump campaign, as well as the debate prep for that debate coming up on September 10th. Coming your way tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. right here on News Radio 570 WWNC.
For decades, the mafia had New York City in a stranglehold, but the murder of Carmine Galante marked the beginning of the end.
It sent the message that we can prosecute these people.
From the minds behind the acclaimed television series, listen to Law and Order: Criminal Justice System on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app and search Law and Order: Criminal Justice System and start listening.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's Whiteout Whitmire, as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free Whiteout t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamounts.sports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick-ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot afternoon, at least for this time of year. I might feel a little bit different if this was the middle of the summer, near just above 90 degrees. A good-looking day, and nice and dry for your evening plans. Overnight, mainly clear, about 66. So that's not terrible, but still warmer than we've been. Wednesday and Thursday, plenty of sunshine, low 90s. Chance of thunderstorms Friday, near 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Labor Day weekend savings are here at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on select interior paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. More terms and restrictions apply. See lowes.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Did you know you can now use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get real lasting pain relief? I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine, and the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. People here rave about the results. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, live in the Ingalls Studio. Here on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, live or on demand. And we are seen everywhere you go with your smart tube right there, that little thing in your hand, the old YouTubes. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That'll get you into the chat with us. And that also will be another way that you can keep up with our travels on the Living the Dream Tour. Coastal Carolina and Jacksonville State play on Thursday night, and Flostradamus is going to be hitting the road early this week.
Woo!
To be going down to see the Chanticleers and the Gamecocks. Those are two teams that don't, I mean, is Jacksonville State good? Because Coastal Carolina, I know they lost Grayson McCall, and I don't think they're expected to do anything now that they've lost him. I was looking through the other day, and I think they were probably like 7th best team by the media picked to finish in the Sun Belt this year. Third? Really?
Third in the East.
Oh, third in the East.
Behind JMU and App State.
Okay. And I know South Alabama's at the top on the other side. Are they in the west of the Sun Belt?
They are fourth.
Overall?
They're on the west. They're on the west. They're the fourth in the west.
Okay. I thought they were higher than that. Who's the top of the west?
They lost a good amount of talent.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then who's at the top of that division? Is that Louisiana?
Texas State.
Texas State. The Bobcats. Yes.
But, I mean, you do know who the head coach at Jacksonville State is, right?
No.
Rich Rodriguez!
Is it really? Yeah. Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, he's been the coach there for a couple of years.
Huh. Interesting.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to go. Plus, it was the only game within, I don't know.
Oh, Rich Rod.
4.5 hours of Atlanta.
Yeah, because the big game is, of course, Saturday at noon, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Number 1, Georgia. Number 16, Clemson. That's going to be your major kickoff of the college football weekend. I know we have games on Thursday. I know we're broadcasting games on Thursday. Some people probably might get upset by me saying that's the major kickoff, but that's when most football fans are going to be tuning in, is that routine, right? You get to fall back into your fall routine of wake up in the morning, shake off the drunk from the night before, sit down and, you go to church. Right? You sit down with the rest of the congregation around the country. We're all dialing in remotely, and we're all here to see the game day crew. And, see all the picks that are made, and then kickoff begins at noon. You got the big noon kickoff. Is going to be Penn State and West Virginia, which
it's in Morgantown.
Yeah, I mean, is that you've been saying for the last 3 days that West Virginia might be better than anybody's given them credit for. So, I mean, is James Franklin and the little kitty cats, are they in trouble?
In trouble, I can't necessarily say that. I think they are going to be. I think it's going to be tough for Penn State.
Okay.
I'm not saying I think West Virginia's going to win. I don't think this will be the walk in the park that everybody seems to think that it will be.
For more local teams, of course, we'll have Tennessee and UT Chattanooga.
Whoa!
You better tune in for that one, boy.
Down the hatches, because there's going to be a lot of points.
Yeah.
And almost all of them are going to be in orange.
Poor Furman has to go to Ole Miss and play the Fighting Lane Kiffins. That's not going to be fun.
That's not going to be awesome.
I mean, the Western Carolina Catamounts, they'll be on Thursday night on 570 WWNC as they'll be taking on the NC State Wolfpack. So that's not much better for their, for that SoCon team either.
Well, I mean, based on NC State's schedule, that might be the third toughest game that they play. I would just love to know how NC State got a culinary school and a school for the blind on their schedule in the ACC.
Yeah, it could be pretty light. Also, just taking the larger view of the Saturday schedule here in the top 25, we've got the Notre Dame Texas A&M game, which right now on paper is a top 25 matchup. It will not be after the game is over.
That has, for me, there's only two outcomes there. Either that's a complete keister kicking, and Notre Dame beats them by a lot on their home field.
Or
it's the game of the week. It's the best game we see all week long. And I think it's the latter.
I was going to say, we'll come out of there thinking, Notre Dame. Yeah, they should have beat them.
Mike Elko is just a way better coach than Jimbo Fisher, and his team's not as infuriating when he's not here.
But is that one you'll come out of it if Notre Dame does lose that game, you'll go, okay, there's some serious questions about Notre Dame.
No, Notre Dame will come out of that game, and I'll go, cool. You play one more game all year that you could lose. So
it wouldn't really affect you if they lost it?
Not really.
Okay, all right.
It's hard to go on the road and win in college football, especially in a stadium like that where they have momentum. That's something you're going to hear me talk about in bangers a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Sunday night football in college. LSU USC, which is not going to go well for USC.
No, sir.
And then there's Monday, and Do you want to talk about Monday? Or you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just
Florida
curious.
State's on conversation probation until they beat a team that I care about in any shape, form, or fashion. You'll probably lose to Boston College, bunch of losers!
Florida State, Boston College on Monday night, 7:30. Another standalone game, which was exactly what Mike Norvell wanted. Was, this is going to be great. We get 2 primetime games. We're the only teams on. First one didn't go well. Second one, you better hope it goes well.
I don't care.
I know you don't care.
I don't care.
I'm thinking about his livelihood.
I'm Seacrest out. I don't care.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to bait him, and he's just not. He's not taking it.
I've already had my rant. You'll see it sprinkled in every once in a while.
Also on this NFL roster cut day, we have some more college football news here. 1-game suspension being handed down for DeMarco Murray.
How bad do you have to screw up at this point to get suspended in college football?
Well, I mean, you break the you break the calendar rules, right? There are calendar rules on when you can talk to recruits and when you can't talk to recruits. There's a certain date. I don't know what that date is, but whatever date that is, they apparently don't have calendars in Oklahoma because DeMarco Murray, who is in his 5th season
as the
running backs coach at Oklahoma, will serve a 1-game suspension, and it says NCAA Division I Committee on Infractions says that Murray impermissibly contacted prospects and their families before he was allowed to. A total of 17 prospects over 16 months, including 65 impermissible phone calls and 36 impermissible text messages. Learn a calendar.
Or just, why do we even have these rules at this point? Well, you can take them a big bag of cash in a McDonald's bag, but you can only do it from January 15th to March 26th. That's stupid. Just do away with the NCAA.
He told the NCAA that he was not aware that the COVID-19 waiver for recruiting contact, that had expired. He just thought, 4 years, 15th wave, it's still coming. Like, we can still contact whenever.
Well, I mean, he was probably looking at Brent Venables for direction, but he was too busy haunting the barn.
Who dat?
He does.
He does kind of look like an owl.
Brent Venables?
Yeah.
Brent Venables looks like the skeleton that hosted Tales from the Crypt.
The Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent Venables is one of the most singly terrifying-looking humans I've ever seen in my life. If he walked up to me on the street, I would do that Bugs Bunny thing where I jumped out of my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would just see a little hairless rabbit shoot out, and there would be rabbit fur sitting there like, no!
They now will have to pay a $5,000 fine as a school.
This would be a great time to have the Joe Exotic. I will never financially recover from this.
They have also, the NCAA has imposed on Oklahoma a 3-week ban on recruiting phone and electronic correspondence.
Didn't say anything about letters.
Between December the 8th and March 31st of this year.
I'm up on them postage stamps, bruh. What you know about that snail mail? Let's go.
Also, no unofficial visits. They get no unofficial visits during the season opener. That's shoot.
We don't get to bring anybody to watch us in Temple?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Tens and tens of people will be just devastated.
That 5-star running back was really just hoping to pay us a little drop-in visit for Temple.
That one recruit that Philadelphia has was coming to Oklahoma for that game.
See, to me, the punishments sometimes from the NCAA and the NFL are as comical as the infractions themselves. Because they don't make sense a lot of the times, especially when you have, we're self-imposing a suspension. Who was this that did this most recently? It was Iowa.
Iowa got Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah, Kirk Ferentz. Like, we're getting ahead of this thing. we're going to miss the first game of the season against Youngstown State. And I think that should be fine. It should be all good.
The only thing I can compare this to is when you were a kid and you were in the second grade and you had that one heathen that was in your class.
The heathen
that could not, that couldn't behave. And so they would try their best. I mean, you knew just damn well that there was a paddle in that school somewhere and that teacher wanted to adorn it, but they couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, here's your punishment. You go to lunch 5 minutes late when there's no line. Little Timmy, you little jackal.
Mm-hmm.
You lose 2 minutes of recess. Frankly, that's all I can handle, you being in this room, before you go terrorize the other children.
Yeah, that really didn't work for me when I was in. They used to try to sit me at the table with the teachers. Like, well, that's your punishment. Your punishment is now you can't shut up in class. Now you don't get to sit with everybody else. You got to sit with us.
Well, Tank, I'm about to tell you something that might break that glass in your brain, but that wasn't actually a punishment. That was the only chair you fit in.
I want to say FCC outlawed words to you right now.
Don't make it so easy, because I'm back now.
Well, what they found out was once they sat me at the table, that was just a better audience. Like, now you guys are going to get the jokes that the 16-year-olds don't get. That didn't last long. It was like, damn it, you're going to go eat lunch in the cafeteria or in the bathroom.
Go eat lunch with the janitor. Maybe he can teach you a skill, because that's your future. Like,
would you stop talking?
You're actually the replacement for the janitor. Mm-hmm. When he retires, you're up.
Every teacher that ever found out what I do for a living, none of them were ever shocked by finding out that I was on the radio.
Some of my old teachers listened to this show, and up until this point, I have yet to have one that was shocked. I will say a guy that we're going to see at Georgia Clemson, he's in a suite. He just bought a boat with a profane message to a teacher of his that had told him he wasn't going to amount to anything.
Really?
And I had a teacher just like that, and I want to get that same profane saying, and I want to put it right over my head right here in the shot every day.
I love that.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'll show it to you in the break.
I love that idea.
Awesome. I don't know who he got to paint that on his boat, but God bless the world we live in.
Good for him. I'm taking names and keeping receipts.
It's like, that is Richard Petty, so you know. And I'm here for it.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas,
September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
One of the most anticipated live music events of the year.
You have to see this to believe it.
Brought to you by Hyundai's lineup of electric vehicles, electrifying your summer and your journey to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
If you're listening to this Gerber Life Guaranteed life insurance ad, there's a good chance that you're alive. And if you're not, well, this may not be of interest to you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life insurance, I'm going to live forever. Death is what happens to other people. Well, for the sake of argument, let's assume you're wrong and that someday you won't be listening to the radio anymore. I know it's not easy to talk about, so I'll do the talking. If you're 50 plus and alive, or 50 to 75 in New York, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance regardless of your health. And since this life insurance is guaranteed, you don't have to get a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, call 888-532-5016. Then, when you stop, if you stop listening to the radio, your family can use the insurance money to help cover your final expenses or anything else. Your kids already inherited your ears, allergies, and questionable singing voice. Don't make them inherit your final expense tab too. For a free personalized quote, call 888-532-5016 today.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dales available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dales salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean box.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. Heard live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can see us on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can join us in the chat and, of course, get the alerts whenever we go live when we're on the road for the Living the Dream tour. I think that's how the college football conversation started in the last segment was, we're going to be in Atlanta this weekend. We'll be talking to Jeremy on Thursday and Friday while he's on the road there in either West Alabama or there in Georgia.
Well, most likely I will be doing the show from Anderson, South Carolina, Thursday.
Okay.
Now I'll drive over to Jacksonville, hop back to the hotel in Atlanta, and do the show from the hotel on Friday, and then I'll be out and about Atlanta, left to my own devices for a night, and that is dangerous for all involved.
Could be a little scary with no tank there to keep you in check.
Well, you will find this out the hard way at some point because you'll be there from pillar to post for one of these Atlanta trips. National title game is the one I'm specifically thinking of. I have a bunch of former business associates that live in downtown Atlanta, and I've told you a few of these stories. The Duty Airport story was that's one of these guys, and they have lives that are there's something. If alcohol is poison, there's something in them that they're trying to kill.
Right.
And good luck, Tank.
These fellers like to indulge.
Good luck.
So to speak.
It's the best I can tell you.
Yeah.
I don't think we can shoot video from inside Magic City, but if they allow us to, his eyes got real big.
Okay.
Tank's like, oh crap.
So, honey, I don't know if the Atlanta trip's the one that you want to tag along on or not. It's just the guys.
Business. It's just business.
It's going to be a lot of
meetings. It's really going to be a grind.
By the way, what is the best way to remove glitter from your person? That's how I got caught last time. So
die.
Just
That's
need
the best way. I think I've still got some in my hair from 8 years ago.
She always finds out with the glitter. It's all part of the plan. It's part of the business plan. See, they add the glitter, so then you get caught, then you get divorced, and then you come back more.
Yeah, and then now you're a repeat customer.
Oh, good night. All right, we got 4 o'clock this afternoon. The final roster cuts have to be made.
We got breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
I love days like this a lot because it's just a never-ending cycle. The Los Angeles Rams are trading Ernest Jones to the Tennessee Titans.
Whoa.
That's a good move for Tennessee. That was, I think it was Matthew Hoffman asked me over the weekend where I thought he could go because they gave him permission to seek a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee was one of the teams I said. And I'm telling you, that Tennessee defense is not going to be – that's not going to be fun.
No, the fact that they have rebuilt the secondary, you've got Harold Landry coming back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that right there alone was enough for me to go, okay, you know what? Their offense might suck. It could.
I don't think the offense could be that bad.
It could. I'm just saying it could. You know, Will Levis, there's a lot of us who are not on the believer side of him just yet. You might have seen a flash or two, but I mean, he's kind of in the Sam Darnold category for me. I mean, he gets a little bit more of a break than Sam does because I haven't seen him in this league that long, but that's one of those. I'm not really sure what to expect. It might be okay for some of the players on that team, but if the offense does sputter, the defense is going to be hard as hell to score on because you can't just willy-nilly throw on them anymore.
Do you know how many new starters they have on defense?
I would take a guess and say it's 7.
It's more than it's
8.
8. Devondre Sweat, Sebastian Joseph Day.
Mm-hmm.
Harold Landry was out last year, so
Yep.
I counted him as a new one.
Yep.
Ernest Jones, Kenneth Murray, Chidobe Awuzie, L'Jarius Sneed, Quandre Diggs. That's a good defense.
It is.
That's a really good defense. Now, their schedule's evil, and I don't know exactly how good Will Levis is going to be, but you got a defense that is not to be messed with.
Mm-hmm. Did you say Kenneth Murray?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, I remember hearing that name, and he's also new to this team.
He is look, I love this move. I don't know what they gave up. I don't have the compensation yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good move for Tennessee.
What's too much? If it's just strictly draft compensation.
I think it's going to be probably a 4th or 5th round pick because you got to pay him.
I was thinking of 5.
5 was what was in my head. But
Okay.
I'm giving Tennessee a little wiggle room.
Right.
Because I hate when I say something and then it winds up higher than that. It looks like they overpaid. Depending on if you worked out the contract ahead of time, I mean, look, the highest paid off-ball linebacker in the NFL makes like $19 million a year. So it's not a crazy amount, and he's a really good young player.
Who replaces him in L.A., though? The only reason I asked the question is because the situation, like this weekend when this came up, I didn't even know this was a thing until the story came out that he had been given permission to seek a trade, but it was he's on the last year of his contract and he wants an extension and they can't agree on the money. I'm trying to think, like, are you that stocked toward the good that you can just go, yeah, go ahead. We're $1 million, $2 million apart, you go.
It's either Troy Reeder or Jake Hummel. And I think Jake Hummel was probably a starter anyway. So Christian Roseboom or Troy Reeder.
Yeah.
Of which, I mean, I don't like that you didn't want to pay him, but I'm also looking at the Rams going, you're going to get to that point where you can't afford everybody because you're doing that thing where you draft too well and you got too many players and you can't pay everybody.
Signal caller of the defense now goes to the Tennessee Titans.
That's a big thing, too.
I mean, strengthening. Yeah, the fact that he is the guy. Mm-hmm. He's the point guy on the offense and has been for 2 years?
Yes.
It's a pretty important position. I don't know what he wanted. I haven't seen anything reported on what number he had in his mind or how
15's where I was.
How far apart they were.
I would say that he was probably at 15, and they just I don't necessarily know that it's a far apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading some of these Copernicus comments of, well, the Rams were going to cut him anyway.
No, they weren't. No, they were not. Yeah. No, you don't cut that guy.
They might have let him become a free agent at the end of the year, but they certainly weren't going to cut him.
No.
And Tennessee's got a good amount of money. So they spent a good amount of money, don't get me wrong. But.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see what the official compensation is on that. That'll probably come down in the next few months.
It should.
And then maybe with that we will know a number if they had already worked that out in the meantime, because this was a fast-moving thing, or at least as far as the media was concerned. Saturday, the news came out. I believe it was late Saturday night that this came out, that Ernest Jones was being given permission to seek the trade, and now we're just 3 days later, and somebody has already worked it out. Hopefully this isn't a New York Jets move where they trade for him and then go, no, we're not going to pay you. Screw you. And then the guy never shows.
Jets still not totally saying that that Hassan Reddick will not be ready for Week 1.
He needs to get a new contract for it, though, first.
In theory.
Right.
In theory. But.
I mean, I get that, I don't know. Are you playing that? How long are you playing that game, I guess?
I mean, I don't think you have an alternative.
No.
You can play that game because you traded into this game, and here you are.
And here you are. You're stuck with it. We had the big contract yesterday for CeeDee Lamb, his massive contract, making him the second highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, just behind Justin Jefferson. You know, some guys, you can play that game. I don't feel like, I don't know. Ernest Jones, he ain't getting that kind of money. Obviously he's not getting $30 million, but is he getting top 5 at his position money?
He could. He's a very good young linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, PFF had him graded as the 14th best linebacker in the NFL last year. And that maths for me.
Okay. I mean, I know he's good, but just how good?
He's not great in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
But that's honestly one of the reasons I liked him so much with Tennessee, is that he's really solid against the run. He's a really good pass rusher, and I don't necessarily need you to be a great coverage guy because I got so many corners. I mean, Tennessee can play a lot of man defense and never really worry about dropping linebackers out or anything. I mean, you're going to do it. Don't get me wrong, but the more I think about this, the more I absolutely love this move.
Yeah.
The only problem that I do see is having Kenny Murray and Ernest Jones next to each other. That is a recipe for tight ends are going to eat your lunchbox.
Well, look, you were worried last year about everybody eating your lunchbox. If we can narrow that down just to the tight ends, I feel like we're in a better spot because there are way fewer tight ends that can do that to us in this league than there are wide receivers.
But you're also going to be able to heat up quarterbacks. That probably cranks up the number of interceptions you produce, puts Will Levis in a short field more often. And look, Tennessee did that thing that a lot of teams do under new ownership and new GMs. You make a couple moves that you go, oh, boy, that's not great. And then I believe Amy Adams Shrunk has just handed this to the football people, and the football people have absolutely killed this offseason. I could make the claim that nobody has had a better 2024 NFL offseason than the Tennessee Titans.
That feels like we should carry that discussion on into the next segment.
Sounds like a winner to me.
Almost like we planned it that way, but we didn't. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot afternoon, at least for this time of year. I might feel a little bit different if this was the middle of the summer, near just above 90 degrees. A good-looking day, and nice and dry for your evening plans. Overnight, mainly clear, about 66. So that's not terrible, but still warmer than we've been. Wednesday and Thursday, plenty of sunshine, low 90s. Chance of thunderstorms Friday, near 90. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop Labor Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on select interior paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
iHeartMedia Asheville can't wait to bring you Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare, Saturday, September 14th at Carrier Park. Asheville, this is your opportunity to gather with your community's healthcare workers and show them the love. Live music, food, and beer trucks, and great prizes. Healthcare workers, be sure to bring something to show you work in healthcare for grand prize eligibility. Free and open to the public. Bring your lawn chairs and feel the love. iHeart Asheville's Show Love Fest, presented by HCA Healthcare and Mission Health. Details at showlovefest.com.
O'Reilly.
Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Call the experts at Zero Res Air Duct Cleaning and mention ESPN Asheville to get $50 off your next air duct cleaning service. Use code AIR50 at ZeroResAsheville.com. Zero Res, it's the right way to clean.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Cullowhee is the place to be for the Catamount football home opener on Saturday, September 7th at 1 p.m. as nationally ranked WCU takes on Campbell at Bob Waters Field, E.J. Whitmire Stadium. It's White Out Whitmire as all fans are encouraged to wear white. The first 5,000 fans get a free White Out t-shirt. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. For tickets, visit catamountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets and iHeartMedia Asheville. Go Cats!
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes!
In New Jersey, a woman's done crimes and stupid. I mean, just dumb as a box of rocks. I don't know how some people survive day to day, really,
I've asked
in
that
this
question
world.
about you no less than
Sure.
I just don't understand how you haven't tripped over your big clown feet and fallen off like a mountain or something.
I do. God did bless me with some giant feet that get in the way way too much. Police in Bridgeton, New Jersey say that Zyair, I guess is, I don't know, Zyair. Zyair Dennis is charged with defiant trespassing after she climbed into the enclosure of two Bengal tigers at the Cohasset Zoo, taunting and trying to entice the cats. Do you just want to die, or there's video? There's video of this woman stand like you can watch her climb over the rail and then you have to like climb over the moat and all the the different obstacles that they have in the way, and then there's another fence on the other side of all the obstacles, and she just walks right up and is sticking her hand in the gate to pet the cat. And of course, the tiger looks for a second like he likes it. And the whole time I'm watching the video, I'm going, do it. Just do it. Would you please teach this woman a lesson?
Am I really a tiger? I don't feel like a tiger. Just wait on the day that This is not a drill.
Right. Like I immediately flashed to the Tiger King, right? We all watched it during the pandemic. It was the only thing on television to watch. That and The Office, apparently. Apparently everybody got caught up on The Office during the pandemic like I did. But it was like that scene where you're just waiting for that animal to clutch on and never let go. Thankfully for her, it never did. However, yes, they posted out after her arrest. Do not climb over the fence. Climbing over any zoo fence is against, it says city ordinance, but I would say the laws of humanity. You can't be that dumb. You can't just go, you know what, I want to play with that big kitty cat over there.
And you know what? This is why Jeremy can't be a zooman, because I would stand up where it was safe and go, you wanted to play with tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Play with tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a rope. I'm not going to throw it down there. That tiger might get a hold of it, and I want to play with that tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she also did the same thing at the bear enclosure. Maybe we should just let her die.
At Sportsnet ESPN. I didn't say you were wrong. I just didn't agree with you out loud. And according to the laws of the Catholic Church, it means I didn't do anything wrong.
Bingo.
My story is from Santa Barbara. Big issue with porch pirates in Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
This got so bad that a woman was having things stolen out of her post office box.
Yikes.
I don't even know how that happens. But she had several packages that went missing, and she got a bright idea. She decided to mail herself an Apple AirTag and see where it went. That is brilliant.
What is an AirTag?
So AirTag's that little silver circle that you can attach to your phone or your wallet. Or there's a spot in my wallet for an AirTag.
Okay.
Put it in there, and it'll tell you anywhere in the world that it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So she mailed herself an AirTag and then didn't check her mail for a couple days.
Yep.
And she waited until somebody grabbed her mail. And then she went, took her phone to the police station and went, hey, wherever that AirTag is, that's who's stealing my mail. And that's exactly what they did. They went 16 miles from the post office, arrested a 27-year-old woman from Santa Maria and a 37-year-old man from Riverside. They not only found the victim's mail, they found mail from over a dozen other people.
Wow.
Get a job!
Horrible.
We're the lowest form of crap on this planet, stealing from other people.
Yeah, it's awful.
And in California, you probably get away with probation.
Mm-hmm. Remember that story a few years ago of we had a local, I think it was local. You might have probably worked with him. There was a local postman that got busted for stealing everybody's junk mail. Do you remember that story? It was a handful of years ago, but the report on that was it was like the guy's entire house was just packed with junk mail of all things.
Well,
why would you do that?
Well, junk mail you wouldn't be stealing. You would be loading it in your truck and then taking it to your house because you didn't want to deliver it. Because junk mail
okay, maybe that's what it was.
That's 100% what it was because there's no reason for you to steal it otherwise. Now, if you get super behind.
Unless you're couponing.
Yeah, I'm not saying I ever did that. I did not do that.
It may have happened once or twice. Is that what you're saying?
I hated junk mail. Nobody cares about your stupid catalog, Bilk.
This guy had like rooms and rooms of mail that never got delivered.
God, I can't remember. It's Bed Bath & Beyond. I think it's Bed Bath & Beyond. Somebody sent out a card about once every 2 weeks. And I think the card stock that they used was somewhere between a machete and a razor blade. Because it would just cut your hands to pieces.
Yeah.
It was awful. I'm gonna tell you something about me that you might not know.
Okay.
I don't even have a key to our mailbox.
Okay.
I have a P.O. box. We have a mailbox at our house. They all have keys.
Mm-hmm.
I have no keys to any of those things.
But why?
I don't care. I do not care about anything you could possibly send me. Hey, you know what? They have this thing. It's crazy. It's called an email. Email it to me, and if you want me to read it, there's a better chance that I'm going to click your email than go to a box, pull out your flyer, and go, it's 1974, and I got to keep this here keeping. I'm not going to do that ever. Save paper. Go green.
Jeremy and I are different in so many ways. This is one way that he and I are completely in lockstep on this view. A couple of weeks ago, a tree fell out of our neighbor's yard. Those terrible storms that came through a few weeks back, tree comes down, takes out the mailbox. I just replaced the mailbox like last Thursday, something like that. It had been several weeks. My wife goes to the post office to pick up our mail. She caught all kinds of flack, apparently, from the woman behind the counter. Like, you're supposed to do that, or you're supposed to, 10 days, you should have your mailbox back up and running. And I went, I never want to set it back up. Nothing good ever comes in that thing but bills, and those I pay online. So what are we doing here?
Oh, look, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. All right, so the clerk at the post office, there are only 3 kinds of those.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like somebody who retirement is so close that they can taste it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And they hate all of you.
Yep.
Like, you show up, they hate you because you opened the door. Most of them are great people.
Yeah.
Then you get I'm retiring in 317 days.
Yeah. My wife came back to me. I mean, she was kind of shaken. She was like, the woman at the post office, she just read me the riot act about how it was federal law that I was supposed to put my mailbox back up within 10 days. Like, somebody gonna come check on that? Because I bet they don't.
Xerox your bare keister on a Xerox machine and put it on the door of a little teeny itty little bitty box. And legally, you have done nothing wrong. That is not good federal advice.
No.
No. Probably wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have a mailbox. I don't care.
Yeah, that's the way I was. Andy was like, aren't you going to fix the mailbox this week? Nope. Can't.
Don't care. Can't.
Don't want to.
Can't. Don't care.
Can't run a saw.
Stephen Tao asked, I wonder how many Christmas cards I've missed. This is honest God's truth. I have never opened a Christmas card in my entire life.
From anybody?
From anybody.
Like your grandma never sent you one when you were in college and you?
No.
Why?
What? Okay.
But why?
Let's be real honest here.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of a Christmas card? Hey, look, it's the people that if you liked me more, you'd see me more often. And this is what my little 2 rugrat evil heathen stepchildren look like. I don't care.
Okay. All right. Now I have to ask the question of, are you getting Christmas cards in the mail and just throwing them in the trash?
Maybe.
You know people put money in those, right?
Stupid people. People that don't make any sense to me. Why would you say, if I wanted to see you, I would see you. Okay? If I don't see you, there are some people that probably, you know what, your invitation probably got lost in the mail. Blame the mailman. All right? I just, what is the purpose of that? Look, we put on matching sweaters and we went down to the CVS and got us a picture taken. Here, now you have it. What am I supposed to do with that? I will line the parrot's cage with that. I don't even have a parrot.
No, you just put it on the fridge and forget about it.
Oh, so I think the same thing with Christmas cards that I think when random people hand me flyers downtown. They look at me and go, here, you throw this away. I don't want to throw it away, so you do it.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, you really want me to get a Christmas card? Take that picture and email it to me, and maybe, just maybe, I will see it one day.
So, like, if it came with your mom's never sent you a Christmas card when you were living away?
I see my mother once a week.
No, but I was saying, like, when you lived.
I still saw her and talked to her quite often.
You commuted when you lived in Greenville, so yeah.
Well, not the whole time. I lived down there for 3 years.
Right, but not to the point where she would have to send you a Christmas card or something like that.
No.
Okay.
And you know what?
All right, I get. I guess there's a world. My mind immediately goes to all of the Christmas cards and birthday cards and letters that I got from my grandparents who lived in Florida when I was a kid. And every birthday, there was another, there was another $25 in there from Granddaddy Spencer, and yay!
Yeah,
I loved it.
My family's like mafiosos. We're pretty good at just doing the $100 handshake. Hey, big dog! I do not need to get the federal government involved into this.
It also reminds me of, if you have not watched it yet, it's worth the watch. On Peacock, the new Steph Curry sitcom that's on. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. But there's a scene in there where one of the, spoiler alert, there's a scene in there where one of the guys is like reuniting with his father who's been gone for 20 years. And he was like, "You just disappeared out of my life." And he was like, "Well, I wrote you once a month at least." And he said, "I never want to hear from you. Why would I ever open that?" And I threw him away. He was like, "Oh, well, I put $100 in each one of those letters every month for 15 years. Oh, well, no. I mean, actually, I put $500 in for your birthdays and holidays and things like that." He's like, "For 15 years, that's a lot of money."
Well, here's the thing. A, don't send cash through the mail. Bad idea. That's A.
Yeah.
B, I actually dated a girl whose family did a Christmas newsletter every year where they would detail the events of the family.
Was it actual events or was it like funny stuff?
No, it was like actual events.
Oh.
And I wanted to hijack that so bad.
You should have.
And Grandpappy is back from the methadone clinic, and he only takes 11 pills now. He's no prescriptions. And just hijack that and send it to everybody they know.
That is the way you do that.
They would at least laugh.
Yeah, that is the way you do that. When you get the family newsletter, then you respond with your own version of the family newsletter.
Here's the thing. This is how I feel about written mail. The day that God or Steve Jobs or whoever invented the computer, I don't know, and I don't care. The day that happened is the day that the typewriter was eradicated. I don't do any of that anymore. The day the DVD was invented is when the VHS became worthless because it's obsolete technology. So once you have gone obsolete, I don't find myself I've never looked at a horse and gone, "You know what? I think I'm going to trade my truck in for Seabiscuit over here for a Nope. Email me. Email me.
Okay.
We have
it's the most millennial thing you've ever said.
It's what you do. We have an update on compensation for Ernest Jones.
Okay.
The Rams traded Ernest Jones and a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Titans in exchange for a 2026 fifth-round pick. That is a whale of a move by the Tennessee Titans.
Good for them. I gave up nothing but paying
Basically.
him. But paying him.
Basically.
I'm in. Count me in.
He dropped probably 45 picks once it's all said and done. That's if Tennessee's bad and the Rams are really good. And that's even 2 years from now. So, solid move by the Tennessee Titans.
Not a bad price to pay for the greatest Gamecock to come out of there since I couldn't think of anything.
Deebo Samuel.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Deebo. He did terrorize SEC nightmares for a while. Frank Gore Jr. Probably not going to have the career his dad had in the NFL.
No.
He got cut loose today. Yeah. Casualty of the cuts of the Buffalo Bills. Victim of a crowded backfield. Although he had 101 yards on 18 carries in the preseason.
Yeah, if you played in the last preseason game, I hope you're renting. And I hope it was a short-term Airbnb rental.
I was going to say, we're all staying at the extended stay down the street. So
don't stay there. It's a good place to
No
meet.
extended stays?
That's a good place to meet a guy that runs their place that wants to take a nap with you.
Like the Home 2, that's a cool place, isn't it?
Home 2 is not an extended stay.
I thought that was one of those extended stay places. Oh, my bad.
No, extended stay is a brand. There is a
there's an
called
extended stay
yes.
brand. I did not know that. I thought those like home and suites things, those were extended stay.
It basically anything that's in one, like the Mountaineer Inn, if it's in one flat, I don't want to meet a guy that runs this hotel.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't want to meet a guy that runs this hotel, and now we've become friends to the point that he wants to cuddle with me, and I don't want to do that.
Jeez.
No, I need it to say Hilton somewhere. You know what Hilton means? Hilton means there's no chance that somebody else has the key to this room, and you're going to have a new snuggle buddy.
I definitely don't want to stay at one of those stab and sleeps.
Yeah,
that place
no,
is not. Something's going to creep out in the middle of the night. More than likely, it's going to be some kind of critter or a bed bug, and I don't.
Any place that looks like it would be a split use of you can bathe yourself or skin a deer.
Or worse, there's one resident there called bed bug, and you just wake up with a stranger in your bed every night because that's bed bug.
There he is.
There he is, old bed bug. Ain't he cool?
He likes to cuddle.
He didn't even ask how much either. The Chicago Bears release quarterback Brett Rippon. Speaking of Snugglebug, Brett Rippon no longer with the Chicago Bears, so that means Austin Reed gets to keep his position as the third quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
And Tyson Bagent.
Oh yeah, Tyson Bagent. I did enjoy the Hard Knocks episodes this year. I really appreciate Tyson Bagent's dad.
Oh, his dad's just a big meatball.
His dad's just cool.
His dad's just a big meatball. It's like, I could squish your head like a grape.
The world champion arm wrestler. He's an arm lifter. He just lifts arms. Yes.
He does this better than anybody. Look, I raised it all the way. No bend, no nothing.
He did. He got Sorry, I thought of a really mean joke that I shouldn't tell. I mean, he's dead, but I still shouldn't tell that joke.
At Sports Tank ESPN. If I'm in here tomorrow by myself, you'll know, Tank. That wasn't good.
Yes, Chicago Bears cutting down their quarterback room to just 3. Nathan Peterman, also a victim of today's cuts in the NFL, as all teams have to get down to 53 men by 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Could we not have made this 4 o'clock David Smith's time so we could know all the cuts by the end of the show?
Yes.
That's my only request.
Yes. Bailey Zappi, Desmond Ridder, also among the quarterbacks that were released today by their teams. The PUP list continues to grow. Actually, I don't think we've had any added to the PUP list since we hit the air. So it's still the names that we gave you at the beginning of the program, but TJ Hawkinson, both of the Chubb cousins, Bradley and Nick, starting out the year on the PUP list. We'll keep you up to date on all of the. There's one more. One more.
Austin Reed.
They're only keeping 2. Oh shoot! His mama's gonna be so tore up. That was one of the best parts of that whole series. Was watching his mama just so concerned after that Hall of Fame game when she only thought her son was going to get a chance to throw 2 passes in a preseason game.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, if Blink 182 needed a new front man, he looks like he would fit in.
Bet you he sings way better than the one they got.
It'd be hard to be worse.
Exactly. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Sorry, Steven, had to do it.
We are 2 American idiots.
Very much so. Wrong band, but I'll give you points anyway. We'll be back with you tomorrow right here on ESPN Asheville. That's Green Day.
I said Blink 182. I meant Green Day. In my head, they both suck equivalently, so I confused them. My bad.
We'll have more dumbassery for you tomorrow right back here in the Ingalls studio at noon.
Corny dad jokes, then you need to go see Dr. Rebecca Merrill at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. I sat down with her the other day and she had me laughing. And y'all, that is the environment that they create at Asheville Smiles. You're going to feel relaxed. It's like a family when you go there. They want to make sure that you are comfortable during whatever procedure, whatever process you have to have done. With general family dentistry as well as Invisalign orthodontics with free Invisalign consultations. Also, they do Botox, fillers, sleep apnea screenings, which are also free. Read more online at AshevilleSmiles.com.
We had the appetizer last week, and now it's time to feast. College football is back. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for Week 1, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and number 16. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
This football season, whether you're on the field chasing victory or cheering from the stands, Western Carolina orthopedic specialists are here to keep you in the game. From sports injuries to routine care, our team of experts delivers top-notch orthopedic and sports medicine care so you can stay strong all season long. Play hard. We've got your back. Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialists. Visit us online or call 828-452-4131. That's 828-452-4131.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of First News on 570, the great Tulsi Gabbard joins us in the 8 o'clock hour to talk about her recent endorsement of the Trump campaign, as well as the debate prep for that debate coming up on September 10th. Coming your way tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. right here on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
This summer, Dale's Pale Ale salutes freedom. Freedom in fabric, or the fabric of freedom. Denim Dale's available for a limited time in the blue jean box. Dale's salutes everyone who works hard, plays hard, and relaxes hard. Life's more than about what you pack in your denim. Though, we're packing beer, so we win. Seize the Dales. Unwind in style with a cool breeze up the jorts. Just look for the beer in the blue jean